but
you will be hell pressed to find top to bottom 5 rosters in the NBA better than what Philly roster look like right
The
now.
only problem is Embiid is always missing fucking games. He always hurt when the
And
playoffs.
this time you'll have a Paul George there to supplement for that.
but
with
then
Maxey.
how long before he gets hurt?
Exactly.
Let's get it cracking, y'all. We got a lot of stuff to get into today. So what up? What up? Welcome to the All Grind Sports Show. We are politically incorrect. I go by the name of JC, and I'm here with my great and wonderful brothers and co-hosts, man. I'm so excited today about the cast that we got in front of y'all, man, to give y'all some great content. Make sure y'all continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us, and we appreciate that. So let's get right to it, man. First off, we got my youngin' from the So Icy gang, tatted like a biker gang, my guy Andre, the sports junkie.
Bro, first off, I'm so glad we're back. And secondly, I'm used to doing this on Tuesdays, so I finally can do it for the first time in what
Yeah,
almost
man, we
feels
back
like
to
a
regular
year.
schedule programming.
Is Podcast
Tuesday.
And just an FYI, you guys got to look at this background till the start of NBA season.
You know what? Until we get to the signings, let me change my background too. I was gonna let you breathe today, but it's what we're gonna do. There we go. There we go. Y'all see
That's
me?
crazy, bro.
One time for the one time.
Damn.
That's how we gonna do it for right now till we get
That's
into
so
these
accurate,
signings.
though. I feel it. That is so fucking accurate.
There we go. So now, see, you should have left me alone, Jay. Now, let's continue, man. We got one of the most brilliant, not just basketball, but sports minds, period, that I know. And that's saying a lot.
Thank
I know
you.
a lot of great sports minds.
I appreciate that, dog.
And this nigga muted. I know a lot of great sports minds, man. And we was just talking about it. One of the youngest great sports minds might be the greatest young sports mind I know. My guy, J. Will Sports, is back, man. What's up?
Good? It's been a hot minute.
Cool little minute, man. I'm gonna have to do some research to the last episode you was on because
I think it was like, it had to be like March, February-ish, somewhere.
You
I think
came in 2024?
No, the last one was the All-Star when we projected our
You did come to the All-Star. Damn. That's like one of my favorite episodes, too. You sure was on that.
We need to rewatch that one.
And last but not least, I don't know why this man came in here started with me today, but clearly he ready for smoke, so we're going to give it to y'all. Pause.
Let's get it.
We got my boy from the Flexing Hour, one of my best friends that I've had in eternities of eternities, my guy, my day numero uno from
Yes,
All
sir.
Grind, my guy, Gene Huggins, a.k.a. EJ Flex in the building. What's going on, man?
Man, it is so good to be back. I'm happy that the Stanley Cup Finals is over because now we finally got some shit to talk about.
It was a great series, though.
Yeah. And, today ain't Podcast Tuesday. Today
It's
is
not talk about LeBron Day.
today is
That would
JC
be
need to
lovely.
appreciate LeBron Day.
That would
That's
be
what
lovely.
today
Disgusting.
is.
Don't appreciate
You
him.
don't appreciate him enough, nigga. All right.
Don't appreciate him.
Yeah, because Flex been trolling me all weekend practically. I've been seeing
your Twitter.
Yeah, I
nigga.
know. I even seen you on
He
apps. I
ignored me.
didn't even,
That
I
hurt.
seen this nigga popping up on apps. I didn't even know I had him on. I'm like, who is that Flex? I'm like, what the hell? So clearly he got some shit to get off his chest. So we gonna squander all that once and for all and get into the actual factuals of where I don't care. I'll date back to when we did No Big Deal a couple years ago, all that. We can get into all of that. Right now, we're going to address that before we get into all these great trades and signings that's taken place so far. And we also going to have breaking news on standby. My guy Jay Will has said he got his noties ready. So anything that pops, ain't no telling what what's gonna happen during this split?
I hope you ain't expecting
Already
shit to
got
happen
one
for the
today.
Lakers.
But yeah.
F flex.
I'm just saying, this nigga LeBron said he'd take a pay cut, and then they
Still waiting
players
for
is like,
LeBron, though.
"Shit, okay, and
Okay, so Flex, talk to me. What exactly is what do you think my I guess my feelings are on the current state of my team, and how much blame do you think I place on LeBron?
I feel like you are very not indifferent, but just a little peeved with Mr. Palinka. But see, here's
Okay.
the thing, and you put a lot of the blame on Mr. Palinka,
Okay.
but nigga, Palinka is a puppet. All right, you know who the puppet master is?
Number
LeBron.
6.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, just because you want to complain about Palinka, nigga, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. All right, Palinka is not the problem. Your star player is the problem. There's only been two individuals that have said no to LeBron, and he is not on those teams. Number one, Pat Riley.
Yeah.
The second one, Kobe Altman. Two individuals. That's why LeBron bounced.
Okay.
Well, you can say Dan Gilbert, Kobe Altman.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Don't you got on your page to fire Kobe Altman right now? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, fire that nigga. Fuck, he gotta go.
Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't tripping.
Not saying that I like him, but
You respect that part.
I respect that part. But other than that, there is no other team president, GM in the league that's gonna tell LeBron no. It's like selling your soul. So even though you complaining about Rob Pelinka, nigga, he ain't running the show. It's LeBron
okay. So you
running
don't.
the show.
So you don't believe I necessarily have an issue with current Lakers LeBron right now. Am I correct? You're just saying that you're saying that there's something behind what I'm so upset about, and you're trying to get me to understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like for example, Bronny being drafted.
Okay.
That ain't Pelinka, man. That's driven by LeBron. Like,
Okay, got you.
So I'm just like, if LeBron won with the Lakers and they weren't trying to bring him back, ain't no way in hell they draft Bronny. No way in hell.
Yeah, at all.
Sports junkie, where you at? We can't see you, nigga.
Oh no, I'm coming in right now. Pause.
Pause. Oh my god. Whoa!
It's my Wi-Fi is a little shaky. Hold on.
Yo, Dre is good for one of those every episode, man.
Yeah, you need to go back on
Flex, don't even start. Don't even start, Flex.
Back to my guy Flex. Okay, now let's talk. F basketball, F general manager, player, superstar, F all that spit right now. We talking about being a man, as a man, standing on your own 10 toes, right? The reason I've been going so hard on Pelinka is because Pelinka, it's fair to say he has the most charge as far as the team infrastructure goes, correct?
Yeah.
Like technically, like if he says no, the answer is no. And that's even to the people that's supposed to be ahead of him, because they put him in place for a reason. So it's like, okay, we're going to let you do your job. Now, do they sign off yes or no? Just like the president of the United States or whatever? Yes. Like they sign off, okay, yeah, okay, no. That's different. But as far as like spit that goes on, as a man, that is on you to dictate what the I would say like what the tempo, with the tempo of the tempo of the locker room, the tempo of the team, the front office, that is on Pelinka. So if people come at you with spit, if people are telling you to do something, that is on you to have a backbone and a spine to say, no, I'm not doing that, or this is the way we're going, or okay, like, yeah, let's do that. If you're doing things because, like you just said, because of all these other people that you're naming and all these different things that you're naming, that means that you're not the person for the job, because all you're doing is just allowing somebody or people to control and do basically what your job is. So my blame doesn't go to. I look at LeBron the way you just described LeBron. LeBron is like the kid. You have kids. I think you're the only one on here who does have kids, so you can understand this.
Mhm.
They're gonna push as far as the parents allow them to go, right?
Yep.
If you have no idea what your kids are actually capable of. People might say like, "Oh, my kids wouldn't do that. My kids wouldn't do that." That's because they know the tools and what they've implemented in their children, to where it's like, "Nah, we not doing that." I know they're not doing that. But if you allow your children and don't set no precedent or don't set infrastructure, they're gonna go as far as you allow them to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, to my analogy, as far as Braun goes, if Braun is on some spit to where he's trying to push as far as he can go, pause, and he's trying to continue to push that envelope as far as he can, and as a GM, you're allowing him to do that, I'm not finna blame the nigga who's, because to be honest, it's not just Braun, that's damn near any player. Most players are gonna try to be overly vocal, or, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about it in a bit, but we just seen a situation with Clay telling Steph and them like, nah, don't even get involved, even though they have the power to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on Pelinka because I feel like Pelinka should have, I'm gonna just say it, the balls to say no if he doesn't want to do something that he feels like would not be in the best interest of the team. That's supposed to be number one. So if you're allowing somebody to do all of that, I'm like, you need to get up out of there then. I don't give a F who, especially you talking about, this isn't like a Giannis in Milwaukee situation where you got a superstar literally in the middle of his peak that's hovering around 30. Is Giannis even 30?
I think he's like 29.
Yeah, 29.
Not even 30 yet. Like, that's a totally different situation. That we talking about a pretty much 40-year-old who's more than likely a year or two removed from not even being in the league anymore. What is your purpose for, I'm going to allow him to do this? I'm going to allow him to have me do things that might potentially harm the team because I just want to keep the person who's probably about to walk away anyway, and I want to keep him happy. I feel like Pelinka shares most of the responsibility for where the Lakers are at right now. And I'm also starting to question some of the people above him, such as I'll say all the way up to even Jeannie. You know what I'm saying? Even all F with Jeannie. I love Jeannie and what she's been able to do with our culture since she kicked her idiotic brother out the window. But things aren't looking too bright right now because of and again, like, when Pelinka got here, it did seem like he stood on business. I don't know what's transpired since that time. I don't know if him being on the hot seat the last couple of years, I don't know. But for whatever reason, he feels like this is a good idea to allow this man to I ain't even just gonna say Bron, because I think it's more than just Bron, but allow other people to dictate how he does his job. And if you're gonna allow other people to do that and potentially ruin the greatest NBA franchise ever, arguably the greatest sports franchise ever, then yeah, you gotta go.
I feel you. I get it 100%, dog. I'm with you. But the problem is, you ain't got no ordinary kid inside that locker room. Nigga, you got Damien from The Omen. That's what you got. All right. So
this
shit ain't so shit ain't gonna be normal. All right.
We got the ordinary kid who, like I said, is probably finna be out the door anyway. So what would be Pelinka's reason for, I'm gonna allow you to basically have whatever influence you want right now? And you know what? Another part you're not thinking about is, if I'm not mistaken, our true best player on the team right now has the same agent as LeBron, correct?
Yep.
So there's that influence there. Agents like Rich Paul get more leverage. That's just how spit goes. Because if you upset one player, now that influences other. You know what I'm saying? So there, I could give, I guess, Pelinka a tad bit of understanding, but at the same time, you don't. You have to have some type of standing ground at some point.
That's how the old structure was. This is the new NBA. All right. And anybody that is willing to bring LeBron into that locker room understands that that is what comes with it. Like, this isn't some secret. Like, he did the shit in Cleveland. He tried to do the shit in Miami. Pat Riley wasn't for it. Mm-hmm. And then he did the shit in Cleveland again. So it's not like,
I mean, you talking about hold on real quick though. I just want to interject. Are you talking about the same Miami that drafted Shabazz Napier just because Brian said that was the best point guard in the draft?
I'm also talking about the same franchise that said no to Mike Miller was like, nah, you out. Just because LeBron won them, it don't mean you gonna have them. So I'm just saying, Pat Riley, he was like, no, I'm good. I mean, hey, but I understand what you're saying. At the same time, you gotta understand this is what happened. This is what happened when you got LeBron, and I tried to explain that to you, and you wasn't having it. You was like, "No, nigga, you should want LeBron back," and that's the same reason why I didn't want him back, because of the shit that's going on in LA right now. I don't want shit to do with LeBron.
You don't think this is more so the leverage of Rich Paul more so than LeBron?
I think it's both of them. It's both of them.
Do you realize that Rich Paul has probably like half the American superstars at this point?
Absolutely. But who helped him get to that point?
It's definitely Bron.
Sure. Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. It's past that now. At this point, it's past Bron. You know what I mean? Bron can use Rich Paul as he can use Rich Paul as the puppet at this point to get what he want done. I mean, at the same time,
that's how they got AD.
I was just about to say that I got to take the good with the bad too, because we don't get AD if it wasn't for for their antics. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing that can build you can possibly also destroy you, and I'm sure you guys saw that firsthand.
Fuck yeah!
You know what I mean? You guys are just now getting back to a point where you're getting in a good place post LeBron era. You know what I mean?
Semi, because we still got an idiot in the front office, but
you have a contending team in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
At least
there's a lot of people, including one that's sitting in front of us right now, that would give both arms and feet to be in your position as a team. And he's not too far from Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken.
I just don't want to be in purgatory. And I mean, that's where we're going to end up, because the faith that they got in this core 4 shit, man.
We can talk about that in a little bit. Y'all got any thoughts on what me and Flex talking about before we move on?
I know Andre got thoughts.
I don't give an F of what that nigga thoughts is right now.
This man for sure don't care, but what I can tell you,
there's no that is Tyrell Jr. right there. Like there's no objectiveness when it comes to
let me tell you something. The only thing that I want to add in, Flex, I now kind of have an understanding now where you're coming from, the way you formatted that, but I can't, bro. That is when you brought up the Cleveland organization. It's like the Lakers are pretty much over here. Like, hey, here you go. We're gonna give you the keys to our entire organization. Whatever decisions is made, we'll run through you. Type shit. Mm-hmm. And honestly, JC, I know y'all had struggles, in Kobe's last years. I get that, and I get you won a championship in 2020, and I'm not taking that away from you. But at the end of the day, y'all are being bitches for LeBron. And to tell you the truth, you guys play for first or fourth seed at most. When did y'all become a play-in team?
When LeBron joined.
Yep.
I mean, they also got a ring with LeBron too. So I mean,
what if they did? And I get that. I'm not taking that away from them. I already know JC. I feel like he's about to mute me or some shit in a second, but I feel like
no more.
JC, I'm not. I know I talk shit about your 2020 bubble, but that was probably one of the hardest trophies to win, because even the hockey players said that it was. But point being, I get it. You got to chip, but y'all got to fight for a playoff spot. And what does Isaiah always say on the show? Something you know how you guys suck in the first half and then pick it up in the second half. How long is that? It's only going to work for so long. The West is only getting stronger, and LeBron's not getting any younger.
Yep. And that's why.
But that's why I feel like in general, the Lakers need to be thinking, and this is probably where honestly, Flex, out of F all the bulls for the side, this is probably what bothers me more than anything about Pelinka. We should be thinking about everything but LeBron at this point. Like, I feel like we should be thinking post LeBron career because it's almost over. So we need to be putting ourselves in a position to where whenever he decides and wakes up one day and say, hey, I've given this game all I got, I'm walking away, we're still in a contending position going for. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I know it may not mean much to y'all, but he did pretty good defensively. But Xavier Tillman has accepted a 2-year deal to stay in BOS.
I said I wasn't going. Hold on. Check this out. I said I wasn't doing. Hold on. I said I wasn't doing no more mutes, bro. But that you just got to mute with that, right?
Yeah, we was talking about
this nigga just disrupted us for Xavier. I thought some shit happened.
Yeah,
I got a little bit. I got a little bit better than that. Jonathan Isaac apparently is on a 5-year, $84 million contract.
Whoa, for a nigga that can't stay on the court.
5 years. They're really dedicated to him, which I understand it, but he can't stay healthy. So what's the point?
Shit, put me in the league.
Not only for a nigga that can't stay on the court, but when he do play on the court, he plays nothing like how he was before that ACL tear in the bubble.
Offensively, his game is like horrible, but defensively, I can still see him.
Even defensive, no, but here's the even defensively, he regressed a little bit, and the biggest asset to and I think I know Jonathan, you trying to defend it. I get it. But the type of player he was is like he was good at a little bit of everything.
He was dominating in fantasy basketball with just
good
defense.
Rebounder, good playmaker, great defender. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Very versatile, probably one of the more versatile players in the NBA. Like, I just think like he was like a lower. I would say like he's like I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but maybe like a great value Giannis type nigga. You know what I mean? But that's still a really good player. You know what I mean? So that's what he was prior to him saying, I'm going to stand up on all the Black Lives Matter shit and then tearing his ACL and ain't been right since. Feel like that might have been karma, but that's a whole nother story. But he hasn't been the same since then, even when he does play. He's been, I'm not gonna lie, borderline terrible. So I understand that, with how these contracts are, you gotta I guess fill in your quota money wise. But $84 million is crazy for Isaac.
To me, it's weird because the NBA market in general is going up. But for me, the thing for me was the 5-year. Are you really committed to Jonathan Isaac? Why are you committed to him? To a guy who's barely really played the last 4 years, who's dealt with injuries.
Tell that nigga agent, I said, holla at me.
I understand if it was all a contract, but for a deal like this, is kind of crazy to me.
That's crazy.
That boy agent is still send to the beach.
Yes.
And real quick, JC, next time, be a little more specific because you said earlier breaking news, so I just assumed it'd be for anything and everything.
Nah, nigga.
I didn't that for
First of all, F that. Andre, you the sports junkie. Don't play with our intelligence like that. You know damn well what we mean. And it doesn't. I got a whole list of signings right here on my phone, right? There's some signings I didn't put on this list because I know y'all would kill me if I even mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
So some stuff is and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with mentioning Tillman. I know that's your boy. It's just the fact that you interrupted us on some breaking news shit. That's some shit that could have waited at least. I'm not saying that wasn't worth mentioning, but that could have waited.
I saw the notification.
Oh no, my bad. It's just that's how I be doing the blog sometimes. That's why I was thinking because I update it regardless if they're crap. But that's why I was like, oh, breaking. Gotta bring
nah, nigga, you saw it was a Boston player. You was like, let me fuck him up.
Hey, he could have been with the Pistons, and I would have said that.
That man averages 11 minutes per game. We are not stopping.
No, we have
20 games in a Boston jersey. We not.
Oh, but yeah, as far as the Lakers fit, yeah, that's pretty much my biggest issue with Pelinka. He should be thinking post LeBron being here. And to be fair, I felt the same way in Kobe's last years. I felt like the Lakers should have started looking post Kobe before Kobe got to that point where he said he's walking away. I just don't want us to be, because he's going to have a point where he walks away. We're not going to get nothing for Bron anyway. You know what I'm saying? I honestly don't even care whether, and this isn't no hate at all, I promise y'all. I don't even care if Bron is on our roster right now or he's not, because that's how bad I want to focus on
the future.
LeBron being here. Exactly. So that's where Pelinka's mind should be. The fact that we sitting here bending over backwards for this nigga like this, and he's like this is Miami Bron or some shit like that, or we got like a Giannis who's under 30 or a Luka who's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the stage of LeBron's career that he's at. You know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all should be doing more of this for AD than Bron at this stage of their careers. And that's just me as a fan panicking, not trying to go back to them 2017, 2016 days. That's all that is. So that's why I have so much, like, I guess, animosity right now for Pelinka. He bought some time when he was able to pull off the Rui and Vando trade and all that. He bought some time with that. But since then, and not to mention, Isaiah brought up a great point, he was the one that put us in that predicament in the first place going to get Westbrook. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my only issue, bro. Like, you know,
that comes with the territory of having Bron, man. It don't
I don't
matter
even
if it's
think that's- I don't
Pelinka.
think-
I just didn't think it would still be like that, and this nigga's 40 years old.
I mean, I think that's more of a Laker thing because, like, I understand what you're saying, but every single year, especially since like Kobe era, the Lakers have always had this "they want to win now" mentality, which they can live by.
As we should.
Lie about it, and I understand that. But like you saying about Pelinka, my thing is, and like the other guy said too, LeBron, you know, he pulls the strings. But if you're sitting here as vice president, general manager, letting him do these things, and you're seeing it collapse in front of you, and you're not doing on that, that's on you. That's not on LeBron, because you know what LeBron comes with. You know what I mean? He always does this. He's been that type of guy, which I don't have anything against, but it's not working right now for LA. So at some point in time, you need to worry about the future instead of right now.
And that's what I was going to ask Flex throughout this whole time. Have you heard me say one word about LeBron?
You don't have to.
Even the Bronny pick. I ain't say I have not.
You said, "Oh, we just wasting draft picks now."
Yeah,
right.
JC,
who's responsible for that?
JC, when you posted that, wait, my bad, real quick. When you posted that, it made me realize instantly. You know, they wasted 5 days for a coaching job, and then now they're wasting draft picks, and it's just crazy to me.
But throughout this whole entire time, though, I still have not mentioned LeBron for the exact reason that Jay Will just pointed out. If you allow a nigga to go that far, that is on you at that point. I'm not going. You wouldn't blame, like I said, you wouldn't blame a kid if a kid do some bullshit at your house, break something. You're not finna go flame the kid up. Well, I would hope you don't go flame the kid up, do nothing to the kid. You looking for the parents. Where your daddy at? Where your mama at? You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at that. Like, you're not nobody. No one man is bigger than the organization, period. Especially not no 40-year-old who's about to be out the door in a year or two at most.
I got you. But every single one of us on here acknowledge that this is LeBron's reputation. And that ain't going to change. Whether you got Pelinka in there, whether you got Sam Presti, whether you got, it don't matter who you got in there as the GM or the CEO or the president, it ain't going to change.
If you think Presti going for any of this for you, got another thing coming, boy.
And that's why he ain't with Presti.
That's the GOAT.
And that's why he ain't with Presti. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Y'all knew what y'all signed up for when y'all originally signed him.
Yeah, and like I said, you gotta take the good with the bad, but at this point in time, I'm looking more so at the future than the past, because Lakers, we don't live off the past. We make sure we keep ourselves relevant in every decade. And I'm at a point where I'm ready for us to have our relevancy post 2020 and not keep living in that spit. That spit lasts for, we're champions forever, but that lasts for 1 year. What have you done for me lately?
We also don't know what is being said from Jeannie Buss. Is she saying do everything you got to do to keep LeBron? You know,
and I know she's extremely close with LeBron too. So you're right. That is a great point. There's no telling what influence she's having on making sure Pelinka keeps him happy. But I would hope that Jeannie didn't sacrifice her basketball integrity for her LeBron relationship. I would hope that she is not in that place, because Dr. Buss would be rolling over in his grave. I mean, that's the type of time she on. Because we didn't even do that for Kobe. And Kobe is far bigger than any Laker that's been in this city. So if we didn't even do that for Kobe, ain't nobody above that spit. Kobe got told to sit down quite a few times.
Listen, when them cheeks is getting smacked, feelings get involved. I ain't never seen Jeannie Buss get in her feelings the way that she was on Twitter. All right.
Lord,
listen.
we getting in Tyrell Jackson all grind sex scandal.
Yo,
we getting back in that territory again.
Yo, I ain't never seen Jeannie Buss get in her feelings and get on Twitter the way that she did when it was time for LeBron to re-sign a contract with the Lakers.
And I ain't never seen it. Yeah, that's true.
I ain't never seen that shit before.
Yeah, and I seen even. I ain't gonna get too much into that. I know she has a very close relationship with LeBron, and you're absolutely you're absolutely right. That could be
LeBron was hanging out at Diddy's house. All right, so
but if we're going, if we're
see, you know I'm right.
Goodness gracious!
Don't
if we're
forget
going
too,
in that, if we're going in that direction to where it's starting to seemingly feel like Jeannie is the one that's doing too much or sacrificing that basketball integrity, that Laker integrity, then we need to start having a whole nother conversation about maybe it's time to clean house top to bottom, or maybe something as simple as maybe it might take just once Bron is gone, she doesn't care as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now we can get back to business of how we got to this place in the first place. But only time to tell as far as that. We'll talk about this a little bit later because we got to talk about draft takeaways anyway, but
we got to talk about Xavier Tillman.
That's it. I can't believe that nigga.
Luke Cornett got signed.
Oh, he resigned too?
Yeah.
Memphis?
How many years?
Oh, no, that's Boston, right?
Yeah.
Man, where y'all getting all this damn money, man? What the fuck?
Right.
Y'all got like 3 niggas signed for $300 million. What the fuck going on?
JC and Flex, real quick, and Jay Will, I wanted to ask you real quick before we move on. I just saw that and I know you don't like the team, but real quick, I just saw that the Celtics starting 5 combined had $939 million combined between their 5 starters.
That's crazy.
But you know what's funny about that? The people who gave them those contracts, where that money's coming from, they just recently put the Boston Celtics up for sale too, meaning that they don't have that money problems in the future.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like
only a 1-year deal.
You said what?
Only a 1-year deal. Sorry, Jay Will.
Yeah, but all the money they're giving Tatum, Brown, Derek White, the people
they're not even gonna be paying us
are selling the team right now. So it's gonna look like a problem maybe like the next 5-ish years or so.
Yeah.
So that's just something to keep an eye on.
Really gonna be a problem when they realize that split was fluky and they paid all that damn money. But I don't know, maybe that was their thank you for getting the championship. Who knows?
18-17, JC.
Let's get to it, man. We're gonna start off with the trades. The first notable one was DeJounte, the Pelicans. It was kind of confusing because if I'm not mistaken, the Lakers offered a better deal as far as what I remember. I think the only thing that the Lakers didn't want to give up on was Austin Reeves, but
yeah,
I think they offered like D'Lo, Rui, a couple first round picks, all that stuff, but they wanted Reeves and
so
said no.
Question, like, is Austin Reeves like the next coming or some shit? Because they said the only player that they said the only player that they give him up for is Donovan Mitchell. So what am I missing?
I guess you don't trade potential because if they think Austin Reeves is that, if he's going to be, if they,
I mean, they trade, but here's the thing: they didn't want to trade him to us, but then they traded him to the Pels for Larry Nance. So I mean,
Larry Nance and 2 first-round picks.
that's what I'm saying. We offered that too.
Y'all offered 2 first-round picks.
We offered. I know for. I don't. Okay, let me not misspeak because I don't know for a fact, but I know it was at least 1 first-round pick for sure. At least 1, Rui and D'Lo. We didn't want to come up off. We didn't want to come up off Austin Reeves. That was the main key to where they were like, "Well, nah, we ain't effing with it then."
D'Lo must got a bad reputation because don't nobody want him.
But then you took. And again, Larry Nance is a serviceable player, but so is Rui. You know what I mean? So I don't get like what I don't understand. Maybe it was just like we don't F with y'all. Maybe niggas is tired of the Rich Paul answer. Who knows? Maybe Rich Paul is not in everybody good graces no more, and they just know they're not trying to do split with us. Who knows? But what's y'all thoughts on the trade though?
I like DeJounte Murray, period, as a player. I think he's a damn good player. I do think he makes a difference with the Pelicans. Not really sure what they're gonna do with CJ McCollum, but and Brandon Ingram and y'all ain't got.
I think Ingram. I think they're trying to load off Ingram.
The trade block is looking like.
Yeah, I think Ingram is the one they're trying to get rid of.
I guess come to Cleveland, dog. I guess
that's a great fit. Oh my gosh! I didn't think about that.
They need a center too, and we got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley.
Yeah, and I heard they were interested in Jared Allen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
right. that was them.
Trying to get him for they've been trying to get Jared Allen for years.
Yeah, that was
Allen Jonas too. So
if they figure that out, bro, that changes the landscape a little bit in the East. That's a good pickup. Not because of Ingram, because I don't think Ingram is like that, but I just think that's a great fit for what Cleveland needs. You know what I'm saying? On top of the other guys, I think the Mobley surgeons, if he continues to work on his game and just get better, that's all he needs to do. I don't know about that Darius Garland split, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, but
you gotta go.
But y'all stuck with him for at least 5 years, so I don't know. But
nobody want him.
Y'all been trying to trade him?
Low key, but
kicking the tires.
Yeah, his value is dropped like massively,
as it should.
Yeah,
trash for 2 playoffs straight.
Yeah,
yeah. But like you said, I like Murray a lot. I like him when he has the ball more, and that's the only reason why I wasn't just so fond of the Murray and Trae Young connection, just because Trae Young is always going to be.
I said that on the show. That was a bad fit. As soon as that happened, I want my flowers.
Especially watching him in San Antonio when he had the ball, like he was just so good. So I'm hoping he get that opportunity more in New Orleans. But people like to hate on Murray. I don't know why.
Yeah,
people
I don't get it.
That good. It's just I just always thought it was the fit. He didn't need to be in Atlanta.
Probably because you still got that broken jumper all this time.
It's better.
I mean, when Trae Young was hurt, I mean, Murray was kind of taking over. So I don't know.
He was taking. No, he's a really good scorer, great defender, all of that. But his jumper is broken though, like that.
It's better.
It's gotten better, but it's still broke.
It's serviceable.
It's okay.
I wouldn't even say that.
He said it's serviceable.
Yeah.
I'm not scared to leave that nigga open. I'll put it that way.
I mean, that's 2 3-pointers a game. I'll take that.
Maybe.
I only know because I bet on the nigga, so.
That's why you F with him.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, I feel you on that
one. We got another, I guess you could say, as my cousin said, the role player blockbuster. Mikal Bridges to the Knicks.
Dang. They gave a 5 first-round picks.
We got the Villanova Knickerbockers. What y'all think about that?
Great trade.
Yes, this
to me for the Knicks. I think it's a good trade for both sides, but I think the Knicks get more of the edge because the Knicks, for like the first time in decades. They look like they're winning now. That's what when they got OG back, and I didn't think he was coming back at all. I was like, okay, this team is competing for a championship. Like they want to the next.
I felt like they would have beat Boston with OG.
I think they had a chance. I'll say that much. But
I say they would have beat them niggas.
But I have no problem with them dishing out those 5 first rounds, especially if they're trying to win it in the next few years. I have no problems with it for how that franchise has been. This is the time for them to actually make a run. You got Jalen
for sure.
Bridges is a good defender. Same with OG. They have a team right now that is capable of.
They just need if they don't somehow trade Randall by the end of the summer, bro. They need to find a way to hide him in late game situations.
Yeah, but my thing is, who would you trade him for necessarily?
Nobody, they've been trying to trade this nigga for years. Nobody wants him.
But what is his worth really? You know what I mean? Like
I don't think he has any.
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking like, would you?
Bro, look what DeJounte just got traded for. Larry Nance and what was it? 2 firsts?
2 firsts.
Yeah.
Larry Nance and 2 firsts. Is Julius Randle worth Larry Nance and 2 firsts right at this moment? What team is trading
I just feel like he's
a
too
serviceable
inconsistent.
role player and 2 first-round picks to get Julius Randle on their team right now?
You could throw him away in Washington.
That's what I'm saying. It would have to be one of these trash
They
teams
got
that just
Kuzma.
feel like, all right, come over here and build your numbers up and
Yeah.
stat pad all day.
Trailblazer.
Not no contended team gonna want to do that.
Yeah.
It's similar to James Harden, but worse. Like it was really hard to trade James Harden because he was just in a sticky situation. It's like the contending teams knew we're not finna win with this nigga, and the trash teams is like we don't want him over here just taking up space all day from our young players. So that was the bad space he was in. And Harden is 100 times better than Julius Randle, even right now, in my opinion. So if that's the case for a Harden, what the F is Randle go? You know what I'm saying? Like that would have to be like a buyout situation or a team that just is dumb and think for whatever reason Randle's a missing link. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they can buy him out. I don't know what his contract looking like right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if my team was dumb enough to do that split, to be real.
I could definitely see y'all doing some shit like
I
that.
can see LeBron too. I can see him right now. We need to get Julius Randle, revive his career. Get out there and score.
I can see the Lakers trying to spin the block.
Listen, the first
I
thing
don't
I
see
thought
that.
of was a trade for Cat using Randall in the deal. That's what I thought of.
Yeah, and I think Cat
Remember he was
was
traded?
in talks to go to the Knicks for a while too.
I wouldn't.
But
trade
it probably that might still be a thing though. They let what's his name walk. So
I mean, they don't necessarily need a rim protector if they got all that damn perimeter defense, and he would spread the floor even more compared to having
and
Mitchell
Robinson is
Rob.
a solid rim protector. He just always
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he even came back this season.
Yeah, I know he wasn't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
well, shit. If Boston can pay like 5 niggas with $200 million, I'm sure New York could pull it off. Bring Cat over there for a max, and they be set.
I'm wondering what the Nets do with those picks.
Even though I'll be slandering Cat, I'll take Cat 100 times before I take Julius Randle on my roster.
Yeah. But I like the trade, man. I think it's good for the Knicks. I'm gonna bet the under on point totals on all their games, because it's just gonna be a defensive like slugfest. Man, I'm looking forward to Orlando.
And they can actually score though. That's what I F with. Like Mikal can actually score off. He can create his own bucket. OG can actually create his own bucket. Obviously, we just seen what Brunson was doing. So now we're gonna see how Brunson looks. You have the squad. Now can you actually take that next step again and be, what I'm saying? I'm the guy, but I also can get everybody. I can get everybody rocking and rolling as well. And Knicks got a lot of potential this year, bro. Like
absolutely,
they are. I would say, even though, like I said, we made the jokes on Facebook and all that, but I would say they're a championship contender at this very moment.
They
get Randall at that starting lineup though.
Man, they just need OG Anunoby. I think OG Anunoby is the bigger component to that team being successful. He just got to stay healthy. But then you got Thibodeau that be running niggas into the ground. So it's like
that needs to stop now that he got all this depth. Like there's no excuse for that right now.
Because ain't Mikal Bridges on like a 300 straight games played?
Yeah.
That still ain't been broken yet?
Nah.
He missed nothing.
Wow.
I don't think
and you know what's crazy? I think Anunoby, before he just got hurt, he's been one of the more durable players in the NBA.
Nah. He was always getting hurt in fucking Toronto too.
I don't think it was I don't think it was any like.
Maybe I got him confused with somebody else. I don't really remember him getting hurt too much.
Yeah, I remember him staying on the.
Oh, you know what? You're right, because the year before he did get hurt too. That's because I got him in fantasy off of that because he got hurt. Somebody dropped him.
Yeah, so that's probably me.
Hey, good looking. Because the nigga get hurt and the niggas forget like he is like a sneaky good role player. Yeah. And you pick him up, you be like, damn, when he get that nigga? When OG start doing that? Like, nah, he was just hurt. What you think about Bridges to Knicks, Jay?
I mean,
don't really phase you.
Bro, there's really nothing. I mean, we can move on.
Damn.
I'm sorry. Like, don't get me wrong, Bridges. I do like Bridges. It's not that I don't like him, but it's just I really didn't watch a lot of Brooklyn games like that this year, so I really don't want to.
I mean, I think we know what Bridges is capable of, but it's just his offensive game needs a little bit of work because his shooting.
Bridges is not what Brooklyn was trying to make him.
Yeah,
he is not no all-star,
bona fide. You said that too, JC. You said that, JC, when that trade was originally made. You were like, "What are you really gaining?" Because remember when he was with
when he got traded from Phoenix,
yeah. But you also got to realize he had players to where he didn't really have to carry a team, and
that's when I feel he was the best version of himself.
And that's
why about to see that again.
Yeah,
Bridges, no.
I mean, are we really though?
I think so.
Who's really better than him other than Jalen? And Jalen ain't nowhere near the niggas that.
I just feel like their team is so well balanced that he does not need to, hold that scoring load anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can still get that out of like Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart can score sometimes. Like there's other scorers around the ball, so it's not like it's not necessarily that he needs to, go out and drop 25 or 23. 24.
Shout out my little cousin JR. He said it perfectly. This is a super team of role players.
I like that.
That's what this is right here.
Hey, but don't underestimate friendship. All right.
Well,
don't underestimate friendship.
I do think the Knicks give me like, dare I say,
Piston vibes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's what I was thinking. But
2,000 Pistons.
But Chauncey can get you 25 a game.
Jalen Brunson.
Exactly. That's how I look at their potential.
That's their perfect matchup against Boston. Healthy.
They don't have like, I guess, a true superstar, but I feel like they're capable of beating anybody in a 7-game series. If that
I have a wilder comparison, but I would kind of say like they kind of give me flashes of like that 2019 Raptors, where like you have your main star. But then, like around you is like a lot of good defensive.
Jay.
Be honest with me, because that year,
2019 had a superstar who averaged 30 on 60% throughout the playoffs.
Jalen Brunson can be a superstar, if not already one. Is that
30 on 60? I don't think you heard me. 30 on 60, nearly 60% throughout the playoffs.
I'm not saying that Jalen Brunson is Kawhi Leonard. I'm just saying that they show me flashes of it because of how great they are defensively, and they have a main guy, if that makes sense.
Jalen did some pretty fucking amazing shit this last.
Jalen is the spit, but I still don't. I don't see it, bro. Yeah, he's good enough to. Don't get me wrong; they're good enough to win right now. They are good enough to win, but I don't see him in that tier 1.
I wasn't
You know what I
sold
mean?
on him until that Philly series. That's kind of what clicked it for me. So I can kind of see where you're going with it, but that Philly series kind of.
Think of with Tyrese Maxey and Campaign Gardner.
I'm just saying he was some crazy.
What are we talking about?
You do that.
So, like I said, I'm not, and I know Chev gonna probably kill me when he see this, but I'm not saying Jalen ain't like that. Jalen is like that. Jalen had some probably, I would say, historic performances in the playoffs this year, but I still think there's certain levels to this fit. When we talking tier 1, tier 2, I feel like he's probably barking on that end of tier 2, probably tier 3 of guys in the league.
Depends on who you have on those
When you're
teams.
talking stars, you know what I mean? Like he's closer to Devin Booker than Kawhi. Is like my point.
I kind of agree. I feel like that's a different conversation because it just depends on like where you have guys at. But I know what you mean. I think. Like you don't think he's like a Giannis or like a on that level, but he's more on the line of like the Donovan Mitchells, Devin Bookers,
Kyrie.
He's closer to them, but I honestly don't even think he's quite that.
Really?
I don't.
That's interesting.
I don't.
That nigga.
But I think whatever tier he's in, he's probably better than everybody in that tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think he's in the tier, but I just wouldn't say that he's better than.
Chev is going to effing blackout when he gets on this show.
Man, you went in on Randall. You going in on Brunson.
Well, he probably agree on Randall, but Brunson he's going. I don't
know because was he saying he should be an all-star?
Yeah,
but now he's trying to like. Thank you, Jay Will, because you was here that day. Now he's trying to walk back on that and make it seem like, oh, well, I was just saying just for that game, but now I don't. You know what I mean?
Oh no!
Like now he's trying to act like he got sense when it comes to Randall, but he was dying on that hill that day when we was arguing Ben Carroll.
You got caught red-handed on that one, Chev. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jay Will. I forgot Jay was here that day, so he remembers that split.
I remember that vividly.
So yeah, with Randall, he's probably not like he understands Randall ain't it, but with Jalen, yeah, he still want to scrap about that. But what more can I say though? I'm saying that the guy had a historic postseason, especially for the Knicks franchise. They can win a championship right now. I had them possibly winning one last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they ended up getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what more you want me to say, bro? It's levels to the spit.
Would you have put him in contention for MVP?
Top 10.
Top 10?
I would say top 10.
Wouldn't that put him in tier 2?
No, because I remember they put Joakim Noah in third in MVP voting one year. So, I mean.
They was smoking. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
So, you kind of got to be careful when it comes to that conversation. But, yeah, I would say top 10.
All right.
Yeah, we got a lot to get into, man. Let's try to keep it rolling. This was the one right here, man.
JC, there's no basketball games on today. We got time.
Oh, but it's a lot of talk about and like
we do, but we got East Coast niggas in the building. I'm trying to be respectful to their time.
Drake?
Oh my God, JC, really?
East Coast niggas matter too.
JC, that's crazy. That's crazy.
We got
clip that.
We got the Palm Delian, actually, where me and Dre are reporting live from right now. That was able to sign a $212 million for 4 years. PG-13 to Philly, man.
Okay, so that means James Harden is going to have to step up when they both get hurt, when him and Kawhi get hurt. And
wait. Say that again?
Well, that means James Harden is going to have to try to figure out how to start getting shit to happen if Paul George and Kawhi get hurt. Well, not if, but when they do at some point.
Paul
No, he
George
got
is
Yeah.
Philly.
Philly now.
No, that's what I'm saying. Oh wait. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
Nigga,
God,
nigga don't even know how
thank
to hate
you.
right. He don't even know how to hate right. That's why I just let him talk.
Nah, but PG, I like it, but I like it. I don't mind because he's solid on defense. He'll help out defensively. I like him offensively, but can he stay? Ultimately, can he just stay healthy? I
No.
like the help that they provided him. And that's my
Nigga
only
said
issue.
no.
And I love
for my
PG.
blog. For my blog, I wrote down like the positives of his game, but then the negative of his game is when he gets hurt. Like I don't trust it. I feel like we've seen this story going on and on and on every year.
So
Do you?
we could go back to last year when Harden left Philly and Philly wasn't able. I forgot who it was they weren't able to get. That pissed me off. But I kept saying that they were going to need like another guy, and that what they had wasn't enough. And I cannot commend them enough. They really follow for burners. I can't commend them enough for going out and getting that star that they need to actually say like, okay, like let's roll. Now we have a championship contending team. I understand the injuries and all I understand all of that shit, but if you just talking rosters on paper, I know Ragu hates that word, but if we're just talking rosters on paper, this is a championship contending team. Like you can't really ask for much more than what Philly has on paper right now, especially with the emergence of Tyrese Maxey. Flex, you got something to say?
Those niggas always hurt.
That's why I said past all that spit. If we just talking on paper,
And
that
B
is
will
the-
get
that
hurt
is a
at some
championship
point.
contending roster right there.
Yeah, they are, but
You will be hell pressed to find top to bottom 5 rosters in the NBA better than what Philly roster look like right now.
I feel like Paul George is hell of a lot better than Tobias Harris. Like complete upgrade.
I
Complete
can't even
upgrade.
believe that
shoulda-
needed to be
They
said.
never should have signed that nigga to a max extension. All right. That was their first mistake. But yeah, over Jimmy Butler. But Paul George being on Philly, hell yeah. Hell yeah. The only problem is Embiid is always missing fucking games. He always hurt when the
And
playoffs.
this time you'll have a Paul George there to supplement for that.
but
with
then
Maxey.
how long before he gets hurt?
Exactly.
I was about to
Come
say,
on,
And I love
JC.
Paul George. I love Paul George. I love his game. I love watching. He's my favorite player to watch. But he is always hurt.
I was about to
JC, don't
I keep
don't
you
act
can't-
like it's nothing new because you know
The
it's
most
true.
important ability is availability. And Joel Embiid and Paul George are never available.
I kind of agree because like what JC said, on paper it looks
Kinda.
good, but like in reality, to me, the 76ers are like the Clippers of the East, basically, because it seems like they either always underperform or the best players are hurt always. So like I understand what you're saying, but if it's May and Embiid has some bogus leg injury and we don't know what the status of PG is at that time period, then I can't say that. Now I can say I guess they're contenders because I think Maxey is really, really good and he's only going to get better. I'll say that because I really like Tyrese Maxey, but it just depends on the health to me.
Yeah.
That's the main factor.
If they go into the playoffs healthy, yeah. That's a dangerous
even then, the fans is gonna be effing holding their breath every
game. They're gonna
They
be
can
like,
get hurt
oh
in the
shit,
playoffs.
here we
No,
go.
and I was about to say, like the East, low-key is starting to kind of pick it up. You know what I mean? Like they got some solid teams over there nowadays, so it's not just like an easy run through anymore.
And what's the next topic? I'm gonna let y'all because what's the
okay, so I
lineup?
kind of wanted to go over this a little bit more, I guess.
How you feel about Clay going to Dallas instead of LA?
Hold on. We're not there
Am
yet.
I jumping ahead?
Yeah, very, very much so.
Why
Give me
you
a
why
second.
why we ain't talk about that yet? I want to talk about
the
that.
vent session early. We gotta wait for the vent session. Not ready for that yet.
So I got something I want to pull up, and I want y'all thoughts on it after. We're kind of talk about PG and what went wrong with PG in the Clippers. What the hell is that? Oh,
Also, real quick before you
one of
get
the
on that
podcasts
topic,
pulled up. My bad.
before anyone answers that, Paul George, if you're watching, I love you. You're a great player. Always have thought you were a great player, but come on, man. If you know you're not going to retire with the team, don't say you are.
Well, he did that on 3 different occasions.
3 different occasions. He said he was going to stay and retire in Indy. Then he was going to bring a championship to OKC, and then
He forced his
same
way
with
out
the
to-
Clippers.
We'll just talk about it a little bit. So basically,
Yeah.
Flex, did you look into the first apron, second apron, and all that split as far as the new from the new CBA?
No.
So basically, I guess there's more penalties now. It's not just like a luxury tax type thing. If you go over the luxury tax, like now you got like first apron, second apron, and I guess it can affect things like draft picks. I think one of the other things he said was like your mid-level exception. You wouldn't have access to that anymore to like fill your roster out. So there's basically like certain things that have been implemented to where it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder to build a dynasty, basically. And it probably was made for teams like the Clippers, essentially, or Golden State, obviously, for split like that. So
yeah, thanks, KD.
He was he was basically saying that is pretty much he feels like if the second apron wasn't in place, Paul George might still be a Clipper right now, because when the Clippers released their statement, they pretty much said that was a big reason why they were willing to allow Paul George to walk, because it wasn't worth the penalty that they would, receive on the back end regarding that.
Gotcha.
So, and dude in the video, he pretty much explained it a lot better than I am right now, which is why I tried to play it, but fortunately I couldn't get it to go. But check that out when y'all get a chance. I'll put it in the chat. Jay Will, I gotta add you to the chat too, by the way, on IG. But that being said, what are y'all thoughts? What do y'all think went wrong, or why PG decided not to stay in LA from y'all perspective?
He wanted the money. And
I'm sure LA was able to pay him.
I mean,
so like
I think they were far apart as far as like. Well, okay, you're right, because I think they had money in line for him. They had the money to pay him, but again, they didn't want to go into that second apron. That I guess is a thing now. So.
And then also, I think it was like last year. I can't remember the owner's name, but last year he was complaining about, the availability of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Like he's
Balmer?
like, oh, yeah, Balmer. Yeah, it was reported that he was like, okay, I didn't presented you with everything. Okay, so what's going on? Like, I need y'all to be healthy. I need y'all to play. And that was the thing. It's like, why am I going to commit 4 years, 200 something million to you if you're never really available? Like, I understand the talent is there,
but they rocking out with Kawhi.
Exactly. So what's the point of having 2 of those niggas?
Fair enough.
I mean, so the only thing that I know about this, because Paul George did come out and like speak on it recently, he basically saying that he said at this point it's not even necessarily playing about money or rings. He just wants to play the right style of basketball. Which I don't know if that's like a subliminal at the Clippers or what,
Tyler.
or it's him trying to like dodge a question or something like that. But that's what he said.
Well, is Philly not a better fit than the Clippers play style wise for Paul George?
I've been trying to tell people about Ty Lue.
It's not even just Ty Lue. Kawhi and Paul George that was a nasty fit in general to me. You guys are basically the same player, but Paul George isn't as good as Kawhi.
I mean, but you gotta have an offensive system that's gonna work. I mean, we dealing with it right now in Cleveland. That's why we got rid of JB, because he couldn't figure out a system to, utilize Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley.
Nigga had all that talent, didn't
know what to do with it.
That's a crazy problem. I mean, that's a great problem to have as a fan, but as a coach, that's a crazy problem to have.
I'd have gave it 1 more year, but I know what you mean.
So we brought in Kenny Atkinson.
Hey,
he was an
don't give me-
offensive
don't-
minded guy.
Hold on. F that flex. I'm not even a Cleveland fan. One more year for what, nigga? How much time do you need?
Look at the coaching market right now. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. There is not a lot of good candidates out there right now.
Who'd y'all hire, Flex?
Kenny Atkinson.
They can hire Bill Belichick. No, I'm playing.
I mean, is that any worse than JB?
I think it's better in my opinion.
I'm talking to Jay.
I don't really think it's that big of a move. I actually thought Atkinson was going to go to LA for like a tad little bit, but I just outside of him, the what's the guy's name, Borrego or something like that.
Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah, those were like the only two decent. Like,
So you're not arguing that JB deserved more of a chance. You're just saying you didn't feel like the coaching market called for. Okay, you saying it was a bad time to fire him.
Yeah, because to me looking at the coaching market, I wouldn't say any of those coaches will be potentially better than him, if that makes somewhat sense.
They don't even necessarily have to be better. They could just be different.
Yeah, like just have a scheme, like knowing how to develop and utilize the talent around you. Kenny Atkinson is known for developing players. Like D'Lo hasn't been the same since he left, Kenny Atkinson with Brooklyn. Brooke Lopez.
Was he or not Houston, but was he in Charlotte or was that the other guy?
Who? Kenny?
No, Borrego was in Charlotte. Atkinson was with Golden State.
Okay, gotcha. I was trying to make sure. No, okay, yeah, because Atkinson was supposed to go to Charlotte like either last year or the year before, but then he backed out, I believe, and stayed with Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused, but yeah. But I don't know. We got to see it. But I'm just, I do what you see. I do see what you mean, like just a different type of play style, all of that. But I don't know. The market of coaching recently has just been.
I told Flex I felt like he was fired a year or two late.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have. I feel like they should have let him go after that the first Knicks series.
Mm-hmm.
So you've wanted him gone then?
Oh hell yeah, There's one thing that I can't stand, and that's a coach that is too stubborn to evolve. And
I understand that.
I mean, okay, you good enough, but what are you doing to get better? In terms of your coaching style, your system, like
he was good for what y'all needed
exactly
at the time. But then once it's like, okay, now we have a team that's ready to contend, maybe that's not his forte, and maybe it'll be better suited for him to be in Detroit.
Yeah, I think he's perfect for Detroit.
That's always how I kind of viewed Stan Van Gundy. Like he's one of those coaches where like I feel like he works good with young guys, but once you give him like a team. I don't think that's necessarily his, call when he's.
Well, at least he went to the finals, though.
Yeah, but that's just how I've always viewed him.
That was fluky. Turgaloo and Rashard Lewis fucking tested positive for fucking steroids and drugs. All right.
Hey.
Draco.
Hey.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Hey.
You know what Pats fan believe in cheating.
Hey,
Tell me I'm wrong.
Cheating,
You can
JC.
say to anybody besides Turkle.
It's not cheating. It's just another way of working hard.
Working hard.
Fuck out of here.
It
was hard. Hold on. It was hard to inflate a football.
I'll do it. I'd do it.
Jay Will can tell you about that day.
No one gets in trouble anymore.
I ain't gonna lie, they would have beat the spit out of y'all anyway. But still, if that's the case, you don't need
my hatred of the Patriots.
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand it.
We were still gonna lose, but like I think it's because we upset the Broncos that same year, and I think the Broncos were like the 1 or 2 seed that year. So I think that's I think we would have had a little shot. But
I mean, everyone should take notes from the Astros and the Patriots,
but
no,
they shouldn't. Astros shouldn't be a team no more.
That's
they a disgrace.
They got an idiot.
That's
Rob Manfred, man.
That's why I can't be that. But then he ended up. What was his name? Hinch got fired for a whole season, and then a team was desperate enough to get him.
He took the fall.
All I'm saying, wins
he was the fall guy.
What y'all think about Maxey getting 204?
Hey, well deserved.
Well deserved. Absolutely.
Man gambled on himself and he won, didn't he?
Absolutely.
You got to bring him back. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
And then, my bad, another thing too. I mean, we're still on Philly, but I think another thing with PG too. I think, I remember like this was probably his last big contract.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is probably the last. I'm gonna say probably. This is the last like
He's like
of
35.
this magnitude, this many years. This is the last contract he's gonna get. So I understand PG at a point where it's like I want to max that out, but also I want to go. So I'm gonna max it out, but also be somewhere where I'm actually needed and I'm actually like a great fit to what they got going on. And to me, PG fits that team like a glove. So
Yep. Perfect fit.
I think it's great. And then Maxey getting his money. I'm like extremely proud of him because I ain't gonna lie. I was low key talking split about him at the top of the season about how he wasn't gonna be enough to get to that point. Now he's not when Embiid's not there, but as far as what Embiid needed, oh, he was there, and he had I think a couple games in the playoffs where they wouldn't even been effing in it if it wasn't for him. So
Yeah.
Shout out to Maxey, man. Super proud of him. That's one of Melt's guys too, by the way.
Even though he
he's
robbed
pretty
Kobe
tight
White
with.
of most improved, but yeah, shout out to Maxey.
That's a big fact. That's a whole entire fact. Yeah. And I
That's
guess
been on my side for the past couple months. I don't know why. Kobe White.
Philly wise, I think we pretty much talked about them, right? They got a lot of money shelled out now. They are officially process is over. It's win now, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? It's time. You said what, Jay?
I mean, the process was supposed to be over in 2019, and then they got rid of Jimmy Butler. Then it looked like they were kind of undergoing it again for a little bit. But I know what you mean. It's been on.
And way to bounce back, Daryl Morey from the Ben Simmons fiasco. You know what I mean? Like, I understand niggas is always hurting and all that. You can't help that. You know, as a general manager, all you can this nigga Flex is stupid. As a general manager, all you can do is put the best product that you can on the floor and just trust that everything else that you put in place kind of,
especially when Harden threw dirt on his name last off season.
Yeah. That too. Just man, everything, bro. Like I said recently that I was going to be on a GM tour or going at these GMs, but that's one of the GMs I got to give his flowers to. Daryl Morey he's done a pretty good job of not only putting good teams together, but knowing how to scale back, go back in. Even when he was in Houston, you know what I'm saying? Him trying different combinations and all of that. Just Harden just wasn't the guy.
Before he went to Philly, wasn't PG talking about, Daryl Morey's reputation, saying like when James Harden came over to the Clippers, some guys talk and, it affects the decisions that you make or some shit like that. I remember seeing some kind of report out there.
I didn't see that, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, he was talking about like how Harden was warning him about Daryl.
But it ain't like Harden got the best reputation.
Yeah. That's why I was surprised that PG even opened up and came out, even saying something like that in the first place. I honestly thought he was gonna end up in Golden State.
That was actually what my boy KO, who was on the show last week, that was his prediction, was that PG ended up in Golden State, no Clay. And that would have been a good fit too. Yeah. But I think PG probably knew he would have had to work a little harder than he is going to have to in Philly.
Yeah.
PG is not, he's past Indiana days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be the number one guy. I think he's accepted that he's going to be a Robin if he's going to get him a championship at best. Because even, I ain't going to lie, he even in contention with Maxey at this point for second option. So,
and he can still put up 30 on any given night.
Who?
PG.
I won't say any given night.
In that role, he can.
I think Maxey is the one who could go for 30. And he
can put up 30, but I'm saying like on any given night, like in the role that he's gonna play.
I don't think PG's really in that mode anymore. Anyway, though, like first of all, PG's never really been a 30 a night guy to me anyway. But even at his like, my bad. Right now, I feel like PG is more so on some like, you know what, like I just want to do whatever it takes in my role to get us a championship. Everybody and their mama knows who the best player on that team is and who's going to be the number one option on the team. It's just a matter of everybody buying in. Like Nick Nurse has to cook up and put this 2019 type of type of thing together, man, to make this fit work. This, to me, this is 2019, but your best player is, I guess you could say, is Embiid this time, and you don't got an old Marc Gasol in that position, and then you got a player that's a little bit lesser than Kawhi, and then you got Maxey, who I feel like is a lot better than Lowry.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, the fact that they were able to get some depth players, they were able to keep Oubre. They brought Eric Gordon over.
Oubre.
Whatever,
Not
nigga.
Oubre.
Drummond as the backup. So just get that nigga his little 12 minutes a game and get him the F up out of there. Don't go no further than that.
Oh, Drummond.
And
I didn't even know that.
That he signed with.
And they should be good to go, man. They should be good to go. I'm excited to see how this pans out. Minus injuries, of course.
Yeah.
Flex, I don't know if you're coming back to fantasy or not, but would you take PG or Embiid?
I wouldn't take both. I'll take one.
You'll try one?
Yeah, I wouldn't take Embiid. I'll take PG.
It depends on where the pick is at. Like if I have like a late first round pick, I would get Embiid. But if it's like a top 4, top 5, I'm not touching Embiid.
I don't even know if I'll touch Embiid with a late first. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
I wouldn't.
I guess because like I guess when you get to,
like I ain't gonna lie, you're gonna enjoy it. Like when he's at the top of his game, like I can give you an example, bro. My cousin joined my fantasy league for the first time. It was the first time playing fantasy, and he drafted Embiid, right? This nigga was like undefeated, like the first 5-6 weeks. He was killing everybody, bro. All of a sudden, Embiid go down. This nigga ended up not even making the playoffs, bro.
No, see, like
he ended up not making the playoffs, and when he had Embiid, he was at the top, and Embiid was the number one nigga in fantasy.
Yeah,
with our system.
It just depends for me because like I didn't do it last year. I did it the year before. I was lucky enough to somehow get Jokic and Embiid. And Embiid had.
Hey, is that a money league?
Let me in your league.
It was like, I think it was like 8, and it was crazy because it was like 8 men. So like I had the first pick, so obviously I went Jokic, right?
8 men, and you.
I think Embiid had like injury problems before the season started, so I was able to get him.
He always has injury problems.
Not only that, I was able to get Shea as well before he started, going crazy. This is like before he was, doing.
Let me in your league, man.
So like Embiid was nice. He was nice for me.
You had Jokic, Shea, and Embiid.
But like I had 20 points per game.
This was last season?
No, the season before.
That's
like this was before Shea's like real breakout.
That's the MVP here, ain't it?
No, I think
the season before last is the MVP season.
Yeah, that's MVP.
So you had the MVP and the runner up and Shea.
What the?
Let me in that league, nigga.
Let me see real quick because
I'll be commissioner, bro. We can make it a money league if it's not.
We could always start a money league because I love taking.
Yeah, money. I do one all grind NBA and one all grind NFL every year.
Oh.
And then I'll join Melton in them league for football. They're the ones that got me into football in the first place. Ironically. Play to Dallas. $50 million 3-year deal. And the rest of the signings, they're not really much to. A lot of the other signings ain't much to talk about. So we could we could holler about this situation because I know these is So
I was gonna ask you how you felt about it as a Lakers fan because Clay was kind of like one of y'all's like
Good thing he didn't sell his soul, Jay Will.
I'm curious. Like I mean, you kind of seen what I posted earlier. I'm curious because from the rumors I'm hearing, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, the Lakers offered 80 for 4 years.
That's what I heard.
And I know Michael Thompson has been trying to get
him to the Lakers.
He's been trying to get Clay to the Lakers since the dynasty days. He's always been trying to get Clay over to LA. Clay has always shown interest in LA, but obviously Golden State always did what they had to do to keep him. It took this seemingly nasty divorce for Clay to even look elsewhere, and then for him to step over us and say, "Nah, I'm gonna go over here to Dallas, take less money for less time." I get the Texas situation. Not only that, but it's reported also that he hollered at Steph and Dre and told them, "Nah, don't say spit to these niggas. I want to see if they really just do the right thing by me and what I've contributed to this franchise. You know what I'm saying? And the conversation, which kind of makes sense because I guess it's not the same front office that built that core in the first place, so maybe they don't have the same attachment. But yeah, they didn't do right by him, and he said this is our move. As far as Jay Will's question, like I said, it's just, to me, it makes me curious of like, what is it about us right now? Like, what is going on to where it's like a lot of these stars that actually would make a big difference are deviating away from coming to a historic franchise who's known for winning. It seems like the only time they really come is if they get forced to.
Yeah,
Braun, maybe.
I know what Andre tried.
Braun.
It may just be the
Braun.
Lakers.
No, it is Braun.
It's
It is.
Braun,
They know their minutes are gone.
It's
They know
always
their-
been that way.
But like,
Always.
like you said, like it felt like this was like the perfect recipe for Clay to go to LA. So unless he just thought that the Mavericks were going to, continue being contenders, which they may be, and that Lakers had like no shot of it, that's the only like real.
But
reason.
what is so much better about Dallas roster than ours right now?
Brian ain't there.
Which I got now. But at the same time, though, they went to the finals, but they lost, even though they lost Derrick Jones.
Somebody brought up a good point too. It could have been him on some like, nigga, JJ ain't coaching me. It could have been that too.
I read that Golden State. I read that the Lakers offered D'Lo, and something else. D'Lo, first round pick, and something else, and the Warriors turned it down. So whatever.
I think we offered 2 first, actually.
Yeah. So whatever.
No one wants him.
Whatever the Lakers were offering the Warriors, they didn't.
But they said Golden State didn't want D'Lo back.
Yeah, they didn't want him back. So I mean, it could have been, Thompson was, he was cool with going to LA, but Golden State didn't want their offer. They didn't want to accept what y'all was offering.
You talking about like in the signing trade or in general?
Yeah, in the signing trade. Like it could have been just Klay Thompson was like, yeah, I'll go to LA, but what they were offering,
I want to hear him talk about it on one of these podcasts one day of what his decision making was of choosing Dallas over LA.
I'm sure he'll probably talk about it soon, honestly.
Honestly, a lot of Laker fans are mad about PG not considering us this time. I don't think PG's a good fit for our team anyway, so I'm glad that didn't happen because that would have been a cluster F. That would have been another Westbrook situation, and then people would have been mad at PG. PG did right not coming to LA. I'm saying that as a Laker fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Clay one kind of, I really didn't quite understand that one, and then I feel like we finna probably overpay this nigga DeRozan, man. Lord have mercy.
That's a
He said,
horrible
Lord
fit.
have mercy.
Look,
That's a horrible fit.
Take Levine first, please. Just take his contract. It's y'all are kind of desperate. It seems like at this point. Just take Levine.
Is Levine under contract or is he a free agent?
No, he on the contract. He can pay like $38 million a season.
Levine is a better fit than DeFrozen.
Please take him.
Frozen.
Yeah.
But I don't want that nigga either.
And Golden State.
I've been wanting Clay. I've been on Michael Thompson type of time, bro. I've been saying I wanted Clay since like 2017, 18, bro. Like whenever it was time to pay Clay, I was always saying like, man, I hope the Lakers go get Clay. That's like the perfect. First of all, I feel like Clay is one of the rare players in the NBA that I feel like is just like the perfect player, even in his peak. Like there's very few players that you can say fit on any NBA roster. Like you play great defense, as unselfish as you can be. You're arguably the second greatest shooter ever. He can take you to the hole when he needs to. Like Clay is just like the attitude, locker room guy, everything. Like Clay is the perfect NBA prototype. And I've been wanting that man on my team forever. And even though I know he's not nowhere near what he was, he's still very serviceable in his role he could play right now, especially if he's off the ball.
I wonder if they saw the Warriors give Draymond that max contract, and Clay was probably on that same type timing where he was like, if Draymond
You gave this nigga.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. I was like, maybe it kind of plays off of that. Like if Draymond can get it right now, Why can't I get it? At the same time.
This nigga J Will is stupid.
It's true. That's real.
I think a lot of people were surprised.
I didn't even think about that, bro.
Yeah.
You gave this bum nigga all this bread twice. I watched you pay this nigga twice. You shipped off Poole, who you just gave $100 million to over this nigga. And don't get me wrong, Draymond has played his part, but he's never been Clay. Yeah. So the fact that y'all just willing to pay this nigga who's probably been a liability for us in the past few years, the nigga cost this team a championship. I added value to the championships. And that's y'all pay him without a second thought?
Not to mention they also got that Chris Paul contract and was willing to pay him, wasn't they?
You took on a terrible CP contract. And then basically just waived him. So that's just money off the books, which means you pretty much traded Jordan Poole for nothing anyway. So everybody else able to touch all this bread, but then when it come to me, the nigga who's been just playing his role on the side, I ain't had no controversy, no drama, no troubles, no nothing. Like, I understand his play wasn't the best this postseason, but when you build a dynasty and you're right in the heart and soul of it, as Steph said, throughout the whole entire time of it, there's no reward for that. I watched Dallas give Dirk $20 million when he was hot trash. And they still gave him that on strength at the end of his career.
Yep.
So I'm with, if that's Clay's reasoning, I'm with him 100%.
Yeah. Definitely. I was just in here thinking of that. I'm like, man, Warriors pay everybody else, but when it comes to Clay.
Yeah, and that's probably why he took it. It was probably personal for Clay. It probably wasn't even no basketball, but like he probably really took that personal. Like, wow, like
that's probably why
I hear these type of stories all the time, but to experience it to where like, bro, how many dynasties have we had in the last? I would say since the Lake Show. Spurs, Miami.
In Miami, they didn't even really last.
So you've had one of I'm gonna just say one of the few dynasties in NBA history you've been a part of, and you played your part. You were unselfish. You didn't complain about more touches. You didn't complain about your numbers going down. You welcomed KD with open arms. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even mind Dre looking like a guy over you, even though don't even get me effing started. All of that just for y'all to try to lowball me when you niggas ain't even finna really be doing spit for real going forward. I mean, let's be real. It's the death of a dynasty.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say at this point?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with Clay. Like I don't understand the whole. I want to hear his reasoning for dodging over to LA. Not just as a Laker fan, but just in general. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there's some sentimental value there, I would think, but we'll see, man. Especially because you went, even if we're talking about fit, right, Jay Will, like you're going to play with two ball dominant players. I know Kyrie is capable of playing off the ball, but you know when them niggas is at their best is when they taking somebody off the dribble, and you pretty much gonna be, I guess, in a role like you were in Golden State. So.
He's gonna be that 1-2K player who just stays in the corner until he can get an open three.
But I mean, I don't know. Like Dallas did just make the finals, so regardless of what I want to say about their role players, they did just go to the finals. So I mean,
I don't even think Dallas at first was getting him because I was reading up. They got rid of somebody. I think it was Tim Hardaway Jr. And when I read it, I was reading what Woj said. He basically was saying, okay, they traded him to get money to keep Derrick Jones or whatever. Then all of a sudden, Derrick Jones is
gone, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This was like before that. Then Derrick Jones away. So that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe this was like a last second. Maybe something happened with the conversation between the Warriors and the Lakers to make the Mavericks all of a sudden jump in quick on it and get them just like that. Because it looked like they were just going to keep Derrick Jones and keep running back with him, unless Derrick Jones just wanted out for whatever odd reason, but. It just, I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff that needs to kind of like be cleared up about the whole situation, basically.
Right. I I'm not gonna ask you Jay flex, but Jay, what do you think the reason everybody's pretty much not effing with the Lakers?
Why you ain't ask me?
Because I know y'all answer.
You know the truth. We know the truth.
He doesn't want to hear the truth.
We need to hear a different perspective.
I respect it.
I mean, I guess he could probably go back to original start of the show when he was talking about the Lakers and LeBron and all the other factors that came into it. It could basically just tie back into what he said earlier.
I ain't trying to deal with all that. That front office don't look very functional right now.
And neither does LeBron.
LeBron.
Breaking news. JJ Redick dispels notion that Lakers front office has given Bronny James an opportunity.
Of course they did. You mean LeBron James gave him an opportunity?
I don't even understand what you just said. Say that again.
JJ Redick dispels notion that Lakers front office has given Bronny James an opportunity.
Earlier, the report said that.
That's his way of trying to say like he earned it.
Yeah.
Apparently, I guess earlier said that he had an actual roster spot when the season starts.
JJ is finna make me mad, bro. Stop playing with me, bro.
JJ look-y acting like a reporter.
Like why exactly? Like why are you trying to insult my intelligence? Like are we serious right now? Even Woj kept it G that we know what the F this is, and he was defending them.
Y'all gotta tell him he's not a podcaster anymore. He ain't gotta speak on all this certain stuff.
I don't like JJ, bro. I really don't. I already kind of didn't anyway, but I really don't like this nigga. It's gonna be a funny. I hope this F you, Jay. I hope this fit works, but I really don't like this nigga, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. This might be like the funniest Lakers season. It's shaping up like it.
All right, podcast over.
Wait, they need to bring Hard Knocks to the NBA so we can see behind the scenes. I would love to see that shit.
Why is JJ Redick a suitable coach?
You know what it is? You know what it is, JC? My bad, J Will. I was just gonna say, you know what the Lakers are hoping for, or Pelinka? Remember Pat Riley with Miami?
That we get lucky?
Yeah, lucky. Well, you know how Pat Riley came. Well, not everyone can be Pat Riley, is what I'm trying to point out, and that's how I feel like them coming in.
But that sounds like something Braun would say.
Yeah.
No, but that's what it basically sounds like. They're hoping they can strike gold with JJ. Like it's happened with a few coaches in NBA history. Right. They've hired somebody who have a lick of experience in the NBA. Like Doc Rivers is one of them, even though that may be a terrible explanation. Jason Kidd, I think the Cowens guy who was a pretty successful coach. There's been a lot of successful coaches who didn't necessarily have the background. Like they weren't an assistant coach. They didn't hold a place on a staff or anything like that. So it just seems like the Lakers are just trying to hope and pray to God that they can strike gold with this JJ hire, which it can go either really well or really kind of.
I think you couldn't have said it any better than that right there. This is either going to go exceptionally well or it's going to be historically bad.
And if it's historically bad, what do you even do at this point in time? If you're a Lakers fan, like what would or a coach, anything. If this JJ Redick hire goes down the ship to where like they have to fire him like before the All-Star break, like old dude in Milwaukee.
I don't give a F. I was about to say they just did that split to Griffin. So yeah, hell yeah. Tall people could get fired before the All-Star break too. F we talking about.
At that point, you better pray LeBron starts his farewell tour because that's.
I'll start it for him. Bye.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I would rather see Bron gone sooner than later. Not for the reason that these niggas are talking about.
I don't care. We just got you to finally say it.
But like I said, I got to a point like that in Kobe's career too, where it was like, I love what you've done, but I am ready to see what we look like post.
But the biggest difference is
started for the future.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say the biggest difference, though, between Bron and Kobe brought 5 of them things. Not saying he didn't bring one.
But that actually helps my point. If I could feel like that about a nigga who brought us 5, a nigga that brought us 1, you know what I mean? Like, Yeah.
Kobe was around for way much longer than
And that, yeah.
So
I
think
still remember.
I just
I
feel like
still-
I want these stars to care about the Lakers once they're out of the door. I know it's a hard ask, but I just want them to care. Like, okay, like I want, like, Dirt took his bread, which Mark Cuban probably didn't give him a choice. He probably was like, nigga, you taking this money. But he still didn't like break the bank on them, you know what I'm saying, to where they couldn't do split. That's why Dallas has been always in the mix of being good the last 20 years.
But you know what's funny though, JC? It's like when a player gives them their all, like let's say like if I'm in the Lakers situation, right? Some people will like to use the excuse that it's just a business. Like they did it with the DeMar DeRozan thing with the Raptors, and people were like, "Oh, the Raptors, they should have, stuck by DeRozan." To me, it's like, no, you always make the business decision first. And like when it came to situations like Kobe, to me, it was like I was ready for Kobe to go, but the Lakers were never going to even think about forcing Kobe out the door, any trade opportunities.
As you shouldn't. As you shouldn't.
I don't know. To me, if I'm
DeRozan is a lot different when you got a nigga who choked in the playoffs every year, and then we got a chance to get a player who's 10 times better than you. I mean, that's a whole different situation.
I just think some organizations are scared to move on, and that's kind of like what the Lakers are doing right now. They don't want to move on.
I agree.
And some organizations,
LeBron is not Kobe in the sense of like we need to have a certain level of like, oh, we got to play it careful. Like Bron is another player for us.
Yeah, I understand that, but for namesake, it's LeBron. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like his name carries weight.
So you saying our front office is starstruck right now?
Yes, 100%.
That's crazy as hell. You're running arguably the greatest sports franchise ever, and you sitting here starstruck over one player.
It's the Lakers. Do we need to talk about Janine Buss again, or we cool?
We cool, bro.
Just making sure. I'm just making sure.
What y'all think of CP3?
Hey,
the buyout got waived, and the Spurs picked him up for $11 million for 1 year.
Bro, the pick, pop, and roll is about to go fucking stupid this year, as you said in your Facebook. Bro, when I saw that,
you think he finna get that many minutes though?
I think so, just because it's Chris Paul. And
I think they brought him here more so for like a veteran.
You saw what he did. You saw what he did in OKC and with Phoenix.
Nigga, how long ago was that?
Hey, you never know. It could still work.
Nah.
To me, it's like
them days. That Chris Paul is over with.
Yeah, it's over. To me, it's just like, what does both sides have to lose by this signing? You know what I mean? Like nobody's expecting the Spurs just to be great next season. So picking, and the same way with Chris Paul. So like, I mean, it doesn't really hurt them. I feel like if anything, it's basically like I can gain something without losing. What am I trying to say? Basically, it's more like I have all to gain and nothing to lose by this signing, if that makes sense. So like,
I also think it's that, and I think in a way, I just pretty much saw CP3 throw in the towel and say, I'm probably not getting a championship before I retire.
But while we're on the subject, to me, it's funny. I really thought San Antonio was going to be like hard hitting this free agency, and they really haven't.
Did you?
I mean,
they've never really been like that though. They've always been more so development than making when you have splashes. A guy like,
I really thought that they were like just so starstruck on Wemby. Oh, thank you for giving me that word, by the way. I'm going to try to give him those pieces like almost immediately. Get him those type of guys that can help him win as soon as he can.
But Spurs have never been like that. Even when they had Robinson and Bumpkin, they've never been like that.
But to me, it's what you have in Wemby that would make you do those type of things. But I understand what you're saying. I just really expected them to kind of break away from that and try to at least get a solid role player.
Well, I'll tell you what, in these next 2-3 years, if they don't get rid of that old model that they've been doing the past 2-3 decades, I bet you Wemby will make them get it together quick because he'll be out that door.
I don't even agree with them trading that pick to the Timberwolves. That kind of shocked me, if anything. But
well, I mean, I guess since we on it, like, what? I mean, why do y'all think they did that? And what is Minnesota trying to do with that?
I think Minnesota's just getting ready to get Mike Conley out the door, and that's why they went and got Rob Dillingham.
So you look at him as like a point, like control the tempo of the floor type dude.
Definitely could. To me, like, I don't know if this is biasly saying this, but like he was like probably my favorite player in this year's draft. Like
wow, and he got traded.
Yeah, and I
Damn.
was very high on him. That's why I was kind of like, dang, that out of all teams, the Timberwolves got this man.
So you thought it was like a perfect fit for Wemby?
What do you mean?
The
Dillingham.
Yeah, Dillingham.
I think it's a great fit just because I like his potential. Like I feel like he's jumping into a situation to a team where you can say they're a contender. I don't know if that's debatable or not, but like he's jumping into a great situation to jumpstart his career, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They're a stagnant contender.
If I think he's going to be as good as I think he will be, then it's kind of scary to put him by Edwards.
I feel like this was one of the probably most slept on pickups so far in free agency. Hardenstein to OKC.
Yeah,
87 for 3 years. Another
it.
great fit, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. There's been like, usually it's rare that you catch 3 or 4 teams that get a pickup to where it's like, damn, that's a great fit for that team. Like, these are all great fits and necessities for these teams. OKC desperately needed a center, and they got one that's been playing damn good. The Philly needed a wing. They got one of the best in, you know what I'm saying? Like this has been a lot of great fits so far. But what's your thoughts on Hardenstein OKC?
Love it. Perfect fit.
Damn, Flex, you said it, not me. Nah, I was gonna say that, but because I honestly like that'll be good for Shy.
To me, it's like, yeah, I understand the move. I feel like that was the best move for both sides to go to. I wouldn't understand it if like some other team would pick him up with that contract, but I feel like for it to be the Thunder, knowing what they need and filling that little hole that they really need to fill, I feel like to me it's great. But it's just a good fit all around.
I think this is gonna. I'm gonna give a hot take. I think this is going to be the fit and the impact that they thought Perkins was going to be in 2011.
It's in 2011. God.
I want to go see his stats.
No, I don't know. I know y'all kind of young, but
say.
Flex, you remember like how when Perkins got to OKC and they were like, yeah, like this is all they needed.
Yeah.
Champion. Like I feel like OKC is officially, unless they, are able to swing like getting KD or some shit, I feel like they are officially like they're ready right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you didn't mean that like a bad way when you said that then. Like comparing that move to like the Perkins.
I'm saying this is what they thought Perkins was.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not saying this is like that. I'm saying this is what they thought. Now we know how it panned out, but you know what I mean? They realized Perkins really ain't on shit, and he was hiding behind 3 Hall of Famers, and he wasn't as good as niggas was trying to act like. But that's neither here nor there.
Also, I'm glad you brought that up too, because you made me look. I had to go look at his stats for 2011, and bro, 2010, 2011, and 2011, 2012, he averaged 5.1 in points per game. Only thing he really actually did something at was rebounding. Outside of that,
yeah, but Kendrick's never. Oh wow, we got a trade.
What happened?
And it's not a trade. I guess the Golden State is sending Minnesota a future second round swapping cat. It's nothing.
Oh, okay.
Pick.
Hey, I'll take that over Xavier Tillman.
That's crazy.
But I was about to say, like, Kendrick Perkins has never been a numbers guy, so I don't know if that logic kind of holds to him when you bring up like point totals and stuff like that. But
man, Perk was big. He was a good defender.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't really judge him by the numbers, and at least in the Boston era, let's just say that.
Perkins wasn't on split as a player. I just hate how niggas act like the reason that Boston lost in 2010 was because Perkins got hurt for 1 year.
That wasn't the reason.
That was kind of like
I hate that. Like, I despise that narrative so much. Like, are we being serious?
Yeah, no, Perkins was not the bro. It wouldn't have mattered with or without him.
Not to mention Boston was winning in Game 7 for most of the game. Anyway, people forget that part. But
I didn't rewatch that series. That was a great little series.
What was great was this year.
Enjoy, brother.
You lucky to be in the time period to experience it.
F around Jay Will. You know what? And I need to pull up on you in the South for summer. You come to LA, man. We need to watch some of this stuff together, bro. Because I need to. It's a hard time as a Laker fan, man. I need to watch some of these moments again to remind myself why I'm sticking through thick and thin.
At least
Then again,
at least you don't have to go like back to like the 90s, like I have to do. What I was
about to say, like, you know what? Let me stop complaining because then we have you, who's a Chicago fan. So let me shut the f up.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up.
Lakers go 2 years of barely scraping the playoffs, and I'm crying. Meanwhile, this nigga,
I guess it's just because expectations are different.
You're right, exactly.
I'm used to the losing. You probably over here, you know, it don't feel good. To me, it's just another.
So you can imagine in 2016, 17, I wanted to slip my wrist, right?
But at least y'all were getting like y'all had those high draft picks where y'all at least felt like y'all was getting big name players in the.
Do you need therapy, JC?
Not quite, Jay. I'm getting there though. I wouldn't say quite though because none of those picks really moved me, other than I think maybe Lonzo.
Hey, JC, I charge like $50 an hour.
Nobody really moved me outside of Zoe. Maybe D-Lo, but D-Lo I had to warm up to as well because I was like, all right, maybe they might have overdrafted. But then toward the end of the season, D-Lo started going off and ice in the vein. I had something to feel good about. You know what I mean? And then they traded the nigga, and then I was pissed off again. So yeah, that was a tough time. I feel like them days are coming back soon.
JC, I'm glad you brought that up where you said you might have where you're gonna go back and watch the highlights. Just real quick, I'm switching. That's what I gotta do for the NFL. I gotta go watch fucking YouTube highlights.
Oh yeah.
That's the closest thing to a time machine that will
Y'all are probably you know what? You're right. That probably is the equivalent to what we went through during that time of just dominating for decades and decades, and then all of a sudden we're the laughing stock of the NBA. That's pretty much what y'all going through right now.
The Patriots dynasty just ended. You don't necessarily need to go back and watch it. You can remember that.
Bro, our last title was 5 years ago.
Man, you make that sound like a century.
That is, but that's what y'all don't understand. For teams like ours, nigga, that is.
Oh, cry me a river.
Y'all don't understand, bro. 4 or 5 years of just being damn near irrelevant, bro, like that.
But you gotta realize though, like his team, like was always like the top of the crop, like the entire dynasty. Whereas, like for the Lakers, y'all had the era, you know, y'all had Shaq, and then y'all had a few down years with Kobe. Y'all got it back.
Like two down years, bro.
But he's coming from like championship, at least another Super Bowl run. You know what I mean? Like we
had 2 down years, bro. We had the Shaq and Kobe, so we had something to look forward to. And then once we finally got that rolling dynasty, we had like a couple years where Kobe had to get himself right, and even in that, we gave Phoenix a run for their money as a bottom seed.
I'm saying, though, like y'all had the ups and downs. He's like that dynasty. They never really had a down.
They missed playoffs once.
Yeah, only once though.
When Brady got hurt, and
it was with the winning record.
Once in like a what year? 18-year dynasty.
It was 2008, I believe. After Brady's knee injury, we tied for. We lost the tiebreaker to the Dolphins.
I just can't have sympathy to the Patriots fans.
Exactly, man. I'm with you.
Especially with the scandals, but we're not gonna.
I'm used to being in the Super Bowl, at least AFC Championship by now, but now that's gone.
I'm not relating to. I mean, I don't know. Niggas be on the Lakers head top too, but I'm just relating as far as like I know what it's like to just be on the top of the mountain and just I know having those expectations and then you just on the bottom of the bottom. Like I'm scared to go back to that place, bro, and I think that's why I'm panicking. That's why I've been having these rants that Flex is talking about in the chat, like. That's where all of this is coming from.
You'll be okay.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I'll be right back.
You'll be okay. You'll live.
Okay.
Hey, but JC, if you are feeling down, just hit up Flex or me or whatever, bro. We got you.
$50 an hour, dog.
Not breaking news, but Kyle Anderson to the Warriors.
I charge $100 an hour.
You know what? I think
that was a sign.
This might be a little bit of inside info. How much money did they give him?
3-year, $27 million, so 9 a year.
Kyle is very close with Lil Cuzzo, and I wonder if that has something to do with that. Because
what you mean?
They was in Memphis together, and I remember he kind of like took Lil Cuzzo under his wing, and that was his nickname for him, Baby Westbrook. Like he always kind of seen the potential in him and Melton.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
wondering if you would. I know.
Yeah, my bad. You ain't been on the show in a while. But yeah. So I wonder if that has something to do with that to go, we'll talk about Golden State in a bit though. Jason Tatum signs the largest contract in NBA history. That nigga said F that finals MVP. 314 for 5 years. I think it's the first $70 million contract in NBA history. What are y'all thoughts?
Great deal. I have no complaints with it. In terms of value, how important Jason Tatum is to that team, I definitely give him that big.
But he also, you see how bad he just reset the market because now when it's Luka in them turn.
Oh yeah, but if you're talking from like a Celtics standpoint, they don't care about all that.
Can I make a prediction? Can I make a prediction for Luka's contract?
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to touch Mahomes' territory.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to have the first $500 million contract, and it's going to be some type of, I don't know. He's going to have something that's like different where he's going to break the scale.
But,
he's going to have Mahomes type for his first.
You know what's crazy? If Luka gets a contract like that, and imagine if Wemby pans out to be the guy we think he's going to be. Imagine the money.
Well, I said it, bro. The day that they announced the new TV rights deal, bro, I said the rookies and sophomores is rubbing their hands like Birdman right now.
They could be close to like $1 million per, like they contracts.
Yep. Yeah, if you're right. If Wemby pans out the way that people are projecting him to be, yeah, he's going to be the next one to touch that.
I wouldn't be surprised in like a decade or two. We talking about $1 billion contracts and stuff.
Man, they got to put a cap on that shit.
Yeah, I remember.
If the owners is touching billions and billions, nigga, that's what the market is. Yeah. Like it is what it is.
Listen, they talking about putting a cap on fucking NFL players. Do that shit in the NBA too.
So instead of your argument being the NFL need to get their spit together and be more fully guaranteed and more. Your spit is take these niggas' money away. Yeah. The F is you on, Flex.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Sports.
This is crazy to think about because last decade, not to cut you off, but like Mike Conley, he had the largest contract and it was like 150.
I remember that. And I remember niggas was calling him all kinds of overrated. And then a few years later, he just, Conley was that nigga.
I wouldn't say he was just over. I wouldn't say anybody's overrated because of a contract. That's not how I.
Well, he went from underrated to overrated like overnight when he got that contract. Because that was always the stigma on Conley that he didn't get enough flowers. And then when he got that, it was like, whoa. And then years later, when everybody else started touching big contracts, his fit didn't look that bad.
Yeah, it's just weird because you have to look at the situation too, because Memphis was so scared to potentially hit a reset because it's Memphis that they were like, okay, we got to keep Conley because if we don't keep Conley, all of this stuff is burning down. And they really got lucky to get Ja at 2, if we being honest, or to get that number 2 spot that draft because once they got that number 2 pick, everybody knew Conley was gone because now you have a point of now you have something to build around with Ja.
Right, that was supposed to be us.
That was supposed to be us if we talking.
Hey, imagine if Cleveland with the team constructed right now has Ja instead of Garland. I had to get you back, Flex. You've been effing with me all episode.
Man, that year was so horrible because that was the Zion Ja draft, and you tell me the Pelicans and the Grizzlies get the number 1 and number 2 pick.
Because of AD.
Well, you know what? Thank you, Flex. I ain't have to say it.
You know what?
That was Silver. Like, all right, y'all want to do some bullshit? All right, let's how this draft gonna go then. Since y'all want to play games with me.
This is crazy. Everybody was talking about predictions. People were thinking like Zion was gonna go to like the Knicks. Stephen A. Smith was hyping it up, getting like some type of big time player, and then all of a sudden we look at the same. I don't know if that was the same year we got like the new draft format or whatever, but like people they hated it.
We all know the draft is fixed.
Honestly, it's starting to feel like it, but
starting to.
It's been
shit. Shaq was talking about it when what's his name? The previous the previous guy was like, "Where you want to go?" And Shaq was,
Jay, I put it like this, bro. Like This is something that I've always felt like. You really think like when you talk about players like a Ja, like a Bron, like a Wemby, that bum Zion, players like that change the economy, bro. And you really think they're just letting that go at random to players who are changing the effing economy?
Yeah, that's true.
Come on,
but like,
bro.
they sent Zion to New Orleans. They sent Ja to Memphis. Like,
But
ain't
that
those
was-
the two like lowest?
No, but I'm saying, but there was a reason behind it though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when AD and Rich Paul and Bron was on their bullshit,
Yeah.
I feel like Silver felt bad for what the Pels were dealing with. So
Yeah.
he said, "All right, we're gonna let this nigga go to LA, but we gonna give y'all this number 4 pick. Y'all gonna come up off that, and we finna give these niggas Zion because y'all are just basically snatching they star like that and trying to strong arm them, requesting a trade 2 days before the effing death. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it was nasty, bro.
I guess I understand it. Maybe I'm missing the bigger picture, but the way Zion was like so hyped up, like they were talking like he was gonna be like the next face. You know what I mean?
Don't get me
It was
started,
just
Jay.
to me, it's just weird that they was like, okay, let's put him in New Orleans. I guess maybe I'm just missing the bigger picture, like you're trying to describe to me.
Because this is a team that the NBA owned at one point, and y'all are trying to basically, well, not trying to, but y'all are essentially just like deteriorating their value to damn near nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After all the work we had to put in to get them to a certain point, we the ones that gave you AD in the first damn place.
Yeah, see, I kind of see it from that. Yeah, we were.
Remember, that was when Stern and them was trying to
That was-
find somebody to even buy the effing team. So
I thought that was around the same time with the Chris Paul, Kobe Bryant.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That was right after that. So yeah, I feel Silver on that. I ain't gonna go with you.
They low key, yeah, they low key try to do the Pelicans wrong. Now that I think about it, I know
That's what I'm saying. So Silver, like, I don't feel like that's what is really all. It's some of it to a degree is probably at random, but that number 1 pick or them top 5 picks, like that, they're not just letting that just go at random. Like this year, they probably let it go at random because nobody care about these niggas. But them players that you know, like when it's a Bron, Wade, and Bosh type draft, Melo, when it's a Zion and Ja type draft, when you know what I'm saying, when Wemby. That's not going at random, bro. Stop it.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie. Nobody thought Wemby was going.
Luka got drafted at number 3 and got traded back to number 5 to go to Dallas. Come on, bro. Like, we know what that is. That's not at random.
Yeah, I feel like nobody thought Wemby was going to Houston or Detroit. I kind of feel like everybody knew he was gonna land in San Antonio.
Yeah, in Detroit, they like, nigga, how many effing top 5 picks we been giving y'all niggas? Y'all done squandered it. Y'all not getting this, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks too. How many top 10 picks your niggas done squandered? Name one top 10 pick these niggas still got on their roster right
I
now.
was say that's crazy. That same year was that? No, they didn't get. I was about to say they got RJ Barrett that year. I was thinking they got Cam.
RJ Barrett, Porzingis,
Evan Knox.
you said Toppin, Kevin Knox, Landry Fields.
That's just bad drafting.
It really.
That's all it is. That's all it is. So why we finna give you? We not finna give y'all niggas no obvious pick, and you niggas can't pick, right? That's
They drafted Dennis Smith Jr. Or am I tripping?
You said who?
Yeah, Dennis Smith Jr.
Smith Jr. Or am I tripping? Or did he get drafted?
No, he went to Dallas, didn't he?
Yeah, he was from Dallas.
I know he played for both.
That's horrible what happened to him, man. Like to me, he has such a promising future, bro, and Luka just spit on all that, bro. Damn. Luka spit on all of that. His career was never the same.
Yeah.
But Dennis Smith Jr. he was on his way, bro. I feel like he was gonna have a good career.
Yeah.
But we already talked about most of the Boston players. I ain't going. Derek White, 125 for 4 years. Anybody got a problem with that here?
Nope.
I feel like all the Boston niggas that just got paid, it was like a thank you for, you know what I'm saying, finally getting us one. They know they're not about to win split else.
Derek White should have got like 80. I think he should have got like 80 mil. 4 years.
That's a repeat, JC.
I feel like it was a thank you to everybody for what you guys just did.
Yeah.
And
we're not gonna win another one. But
how the hell y'all gonna
it'll
win
be another
one?
thank you when they repeat, JC.
Bruh, y'all not repeating.
Trust me. They will.
Yeah,
y'all said they wouldn't win it this year. They did
repeating.
exactly that.
No,
Let's go.
I thought Boston was winning it.
No, and Boston, if you are watching next season, you better persuade those fucking refs because they'll love to be on your side.
Y'all
Help.
not winning.
Win
Y'all gotta actually play superstars next playoffs.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna be playing teams that's fucking hurt.
Hey, it doesn't matter. If you're hurt, you're hurt.
You're not gonna play
well.
a team whose best player is Andrew Nimbard this time.
Oh fucking well, shouldn't have got hurt.
Something like
Shouldn't
that.
have got hurt. Shouldn't have got hurt. That's on you.
This got to be about the luckiest playoff run I ever seen. I cannot recall seeing this before.
I don't even.
Hey, it's not their fault that all their stars got hurt. Oh well,
niggas got to play for y'all. These niggas got to play Tyler Hero, Max Strus, and Andrew Nimbard.
Yep. Tyrese Halliburton for a little bit too. So yeah,
for two. My bad. Tyrese Halliburton for 2 games.
And he was hurt.
A game and a half at that.
Kyrie and Luka, who y'all said we couldn't stop when we did exactly
Kyrie and
that.
Luka. Let's not forget about Derrick Jones Jr. and Daniel Gafford. Oh man, let's not forget about those Giants.
Hey, if y'all
and Jay Hardy and Josh Green. Let's not forget about those Giants, boy. Woo! That was a hell of a team right there.
You were hurt. Oh fucking well, you shouldn't have been hurt. You shouldn't have been hurt, and you shouldn't have gotten hurt. Oh fucking well, that's just how it folds.
Anyway,
I saw Dwight Powell on the floor. Like,
yep, that's what happens when you get decimated with injuries. But
Dwight Powell in your rotation, you was not winning no championship.
I was looking at the third quarter. I was like, "Is that Dwight Powell? Like, what we doing?"
Hey, don't hate because we didn't let. What'd you want us to do, JC? Lay down for him?
No, so here's the thing. It's not. Here's the thing. It's not that we hating that y'all won one of the easiest titles. It's the fact that y'all think y'all good enough to repeat. Like,
preach.
Like, y'all not gonna go through. Y'all not gonna get a lucky postseason like this again. Like, this shit don't happen every season. I'm just saying
this happens once a century, bro.
This is it just don't line up like that. Like, y'all actually gonna have to play somebody this next year.
But
if y'all played somebody this year, I personally think y'all would have lost, but that's just me.
And you know what? If you did do this against healthy teams, then I would
I wouldn't have nothing to say, bro. As much as I can't stand y'all niggas. I would have had another angle.
Even if it was just like a healthy Knicks team in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I would have gave it to y'all.
Exactly.
Hey, I would have gave it to y'all.
They would have been hurt anyways.
I would have gave it to y'all even if Julius Randle didn't play because I feel like that makes him better. So I
agree.
I still would have gave it to y'all even if Randle was out.
Hey, look, they were hurt. Dang, shouldn't have played. Shouldn't have gotten hurt when they did.
I don't think they intentionally tried to get hurt. But
yeah, I know.
But that's how that
let me hurt my leg in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Donovan Mitchell. Man, Donovan Mitchell, I just dropped 40 on these niggas. Let me get hurt when we got a chance to tie this shit up.
One leg.
Like, come on, bro.
You lucky we didn't target him.
Probably did.
Right.
Targeted those legs every time you went to the rack.
Y'all did it to Kevin Love back in the day.
Y'all not tough enough to do that.
Nothing forget about what Kelly Olynyk did.
Y'all not even tough enough to do that. Y'all don't have dogs on y'all team that would target somebody like that.
Exactly. Al Horford
gotta be able to if you want to win.
Funny. I think Flex was the one that came on here and said, or no, I think it was Chev, that y'all don't even got that dog in y'all to sweep nobody anyway. And you niggas was playing hospital teams and still couldn't sweep nobody. Niggas is bums.
All right. Where were you? Real quick, JC, where were the Lakers while we were winning a championship? Oh, fuck. Him and Braun were at home. They were at home watching us.
Hey, and we're still considered the greatest franchise in NBA history.
And you guys might have 9 more finals appearances, but all those appearances were losses, just so you know.
We're considered the greatest franchise in NBA history.
Choker? Yeah, you are.
Even with one less actual trophy. So that 18 is all y'all got to hold on to.
It's funny because Flex, we celebrated an NBA championship and these whores celebrated an in-season tournament.
Is Jason Tatum a top 5 Celtic?
Oh, I thought you were saying
in history.
I think so.
I would say so too.
I think so. Who would you? Yeah, I would say I would definitely.
Now let's compare Jason Tatum to all the Laker greats.
That's a good point. That's a great.
What is we talking about right now?
Still, who has if I'm not wrong, 18 is still greater than
Yeah,
17.
you better hold on to that. You better hold on to that.
See,
And y'all got
the
bounced in
problem
the
with
first
that is
round.
how many of those
You know,
rings
in Laker fashion, got bounced in the first round twice. No, not twice. Sorry, this year it got
All
eliminated.
y'all niggas rings,
round.
bro. All y'all niggas rings is when my great grandfather was alive, bro. Like,
It's all right. We still took one from you in 2008, and then we took another
Malcolm
this year.
X was walking around.
That
like,
actually
nah,
brings
I'm
up
not-
a good argument.
yeah, and then y'all ducked in
So-
09 and then got spanked in 10.
Okay, so
And then
I feel like that brings up a good argument. Is it okay for young niggas to go about rings that they weren't even alive to see on any sport?
that wouldn't affect me because I still got 5 of them.
But,
So
okay,
I ain't
yeah,
the
but
one
I'm
to
just
ask
saying.
that.
No, but I'm just saying, like in general, for baseball, football, basketball, like we talking about guys.
You could talk about it, but if you ain't got no like recent history of y'all doing something, it's clown spit to me.
Yeah,
like I can sit here and be like, oh, the Bulls got 6 rings, but I mean, if that was like 35, something like that years ago, why should I, as a 21-year-old man, why should I be able to flaunt that when I wasn't even a thought? You know what I mean?
Unless somebody gets to talking way too greasy and they like a Pistons fan or something.
I'm about to say like a Wizards fan or something like that.
So it depends on who talking to.
At least have like 2 rings.
Luckily,
I see that a lot, man.
Luckily, I'm a Lakers fan, so can't nobody really talk greasy to me. Not even this nigga right here. So
LA chokers, Lakers, fakers.
now when it come to football, I gotta be a little more humble. You know what I'm saying? Even though we won recently, I gotta be a little more humble with football.
I gotta be humble all around. All right.
That's after I know. Damn, Flex.
Flex said that was such.
You should have came home to the root, bro. Ain't moms on here?
No,
you
don't want to sell your soul, Flex.
Man,
that could have been the one you made
home.
an exception. That's the one sport you could have made an exception for.
Nigga, that's purgatory.
JC sold his soul to be a Laker fan for some strange reason.
Bro, I was born with purple and gold in my blood, nigga.
Okay,
I was driving through the parades, nigga, at 6, 7 years old. I was in the middle of all that shit. I had no choice.
You had enough time to make
I wouldn't be able to sleep with myself at night if I would have chose any other team.
You could at least chose the Hawks.
Yeah, like JC from like Connecticut, he chose the Lakers or something like that. And like he from that's his
born and raised, brother.
You're your own.
I grew up driving past Staples Center, watching Shaq and Kobe on the big screen from the 110 freeway.
Yeah.
F is we talking about?
Hey, you know what?
I had no choice, bro.
JC, it was hilarious. Do you remember that story you told us a few years back when you said the 2010 NBA Finals and that was your graduation and you're trying to tell your mom, no.
Bro. I don't even want to talk about that, bro.
real quick, JC.
I still ain't forgave my mama for that to this day, bro. I still bring that up talking shit.
Bro.
Every time I look at my diploma, I think about that. Like, that's my memory of that shit.
Damn.
Like, this shit couldn't have waited.
My sister had graduated high school this year, and when we went to go, it was during I don't know if we were still in the Eastern Conference Final. I think we were in the Eastern Conference Final still, and it was the last game. We were already up 3. They had won. Indiana just won that last game, and then when my mom's like, "All right, well, let's go. We're getting ready to leave." She was like, "Why aren't you dressed?" I'm like, "I'm not leaving." She was like, "Yeah, you are." I'm like, "Is the game gonna be on over there?" She was like, "Really?"
Well, here's the difference too, Dre. 2010 streaming wasn't really prevalent yet. You know what I mean? Like if it was now, it probably wouldn't have affected me as much. Because I snuck my phone in anyway. I had to sneak my phone in the graduation, and that was just to keep score. That wasn't even to watch it. I was like, I'm not finna not know what's going on at all. You're not finna do that. I need to at least see what the F score is. And then the Celtics was winning the whole time, which made me even more pissed off because I felt like we was losing because I wasn't watching.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why I did that to myself, but it pissed me off even more. And then now once students start realizing I snuck my phone in, now everybody asking for the score. So now I get caught. One of the teachers come over there and realize what's going on. why the teacher ended up asking me for the score on top of it. So I'm like, wait a minute. So if none of us want to be here, what is we really doing at this point? But I think I got out of there probably by the time we was done with everything, pictures and all that. By the time we got out of there, we went to a restaurant, sit down. I probably watched, and it was perfect. I probably watched like the last 2 minutes of the game. Which, if you've seen Game 7,
understandable.
I at least got that memory. I got the Vucevic free throw, the Artest 3, the Kobe. You know what I mean? I got to watch Kobe Gordon, so I still got a memory of it. But as far as missing that game, not being front and center, man, that's one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah, honestly, if when it comes to sports, bro, graduation can take a back seat.
If it was the thing is, if it was any other game, I probably wouldn't have took it as hard. It's the fact
I still would have done it.
It was Game 7, Lakers and Boston. It was the whole thing that pissed me off. That is probably never going to happen again in our lifetime. The two most historic franchises in sports, arguably the biggest rivalry in sports, and they're in a Game 7 in the finals with Kobe being Bryant. That is never going to happen again. And this is the game I gotta miss.
Did you watch all of 2009?
I did. But I felt like Kobe. That didn't feel as good. I wanted y'all niggas.
I don't know. Graduation in June kind of crazy. My graduation's always been in May, like mid.
Yeah, that's
your era, bro. Back in my day, we used to start in September, end in June. Now it's August to May.
I'm sorry, JC. I know you wouldn't do it for any other team, but because the sports junkie next to my name, I don't care what team's in it. The graduation, you're taking a step back to the whatever sports.
Well, this was my mom. This is what my mom held against me. So in middle school, I had the grades to graduate, but because my behavior was so bad, I couldn't walk the stage. So I wasn't able to walk stage in 8th grade when I went to high school, and it kind of broke my mom's heart. Like, you know what I'm saying, that she didn't get to see me walk the stage and get my, thing and everything. So because I was so effed up by that, I promised her, I was like, when it's time in 12th grade to walk stage, I said, I promise I'm going to walk stage. I'm going to graduate with this GPA, all of that. I made that promise to her, and I did it. But I didn't count on Lakers and Celtics being in a Game 7 the same exact day as my graduation. And I tried to, she brought that up to, oh, well, you promised me because of whoop. And I was like, well, damn, I didn't say damn, but I basically was like, damn, but I'm eligible to walk on stage. I said, that don't count for nothing. But she was talking about family we had coming into town, all type. It was a big fight. I didn't go down without a fight. That was probably the biggest fight we had.
I was gonna tell you too. I
don't know why Dre brought that memory up. That I feel those feelings all over again every time I think about it. And
I was gonna say,
but at least we won though. If we would have lost, I don't know. We probably wouldn't be speaking to this day. I don't know.
I was gonna say too, when they ours were a little bit different, but because I graduated late May, so we were good. But what was funny was,
I apologize, guys. I gotta go.
Oh,
good all right, brother.
Flex.
All right,
catch you later, Flex. Care. Appreciate you pulling up.
Hey, Flex, if you ever need anything, bro, call or text away. Just let us know.
Got you. Appreciate it. All right, take.
But I was gonna say though, I still drink Red Bull, but not as bad as it was in high school. And I almost didn't. They had me sign a paper my senior year, my counselor. So I told her, I was like, I'm not walking this shit. I got better things to do. I'm going to the beach. I can go do this. I can go do that. And my mom had tried, but you know how what's that old saying? You can bring a horse to the water, but you can't force it to. Yeah. So after a while, she was like, screw it. And then when I signed the papers to officialize, yeah, I'm good. They put it in. Thank God I had good mentors to help me out. But what made me realize, okay, I'm gonna walk. My teacher called me in and she was like, I don't do this often, And she was like, I feel bad for doing it, but if this is what it means to get you to walk the stage, then so be it. And she bought me a 12-pack of Red Bull, bro, on grad day. And I was like,
deep.
yeah, you got me on that
That's
one.
deep. That nigga said, I'm sold.
I was like, yes, sir, I'll take that. And I finished that pack within like a week. And then I called her up. I was like, another one? But nah,
right.
Oh, we got another 5 hours. Let's go. There's more topics to
Let's
get
close
on.
let's close these signings out, man. We got James Harden signing an extension, 2-year extension for $70 million.
I like the deal, but the only problem with that is when Kawhi goes down, what James Harden are you gonna get? Is he gonna be? Because there's some nights when you watch him play, and it looks like he wants to be there and ball, but then there's just other games where it just looks like you don't even want to be there.
It's funny because
I think Clippers got work to do with that roster right now.
Yeah, and also I also think with James Harden, when I think of James Harden, I still think of when he went to Philly, Game 7, 7 points.
And y'all got to remember, DeRozan's a possibility for the Clippers as well, not just the Lakers. So we'll see.
Where do you honestly think
that's a nasty roster though with James Harden and DeRozan?
I think DeRozan just resigns. I don't think he goes nowhere.
You think so?
So
you think he's happy in Chicago or something, or what are we missing?
I think he feels fine in Chicago. Like I don't know. I've just never seen DeRozan to be the type to be, looking around, see which teams may want him. Like he's always kind of been loyal to wherever he's at. I don't think that really changed.
You gotta remember, he's still LA at heart.
Yeah, but his name hasn't just really.
He was just at Cannon Friends all on stage and spit. You feel me? We're rushing them.
That kind of scared me a little bit. But if he leaves, I'm not gonna be too heartbroken because at this point, I just want to hit the reset button for the 10th time.
You've been asking for that for how long?
And
they still won't do it.
And then Levine gone, but
what can save y'all at this point? Do y'all just need Jesus?
Yeah. I about to say even Jesus, they only get us to like the second round because that type of water. Really, it's really.
I want to say this, Jay, bro. We've seen a lot of teams go through like what you're going through right now. Not very many, but we've seen a lot of teams, and I feel like there's better days ahead, bro. Like a team like Detroit, the Lions, should be like a inspiration to you right now.
Oh yeah, well, it's just ownership. If we can get new ownership, then I'm back on board. But as long as we're filling up this arenas, even though we going like 33,
well,
40.
You can't really say that because people said that about James Dolan, and the Knicks are back in contention. You know,
I've experienced in this for God knows how long. So like, I don't know. I just feel like once that change happens,
I'll feel you. Obi Toppin $60 million for 4 years to stay with Indiana. Or did he stay with Indiana? He did, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay.
I want
to make sure I didn't make a mistake in my notes.
I've just never been huge on Obi Toppin. Like
he played solid in the playoffs, though. He played pretty good.
I've just never been an Obi Toppin guy ever. I mean, I guess, but to me, I just wouldn't pay him that much. But
I mean, it's 20. I feel like that's the market for an Obi Toppin. $20 million a year. You're a good asset depth piece.
Maybe I just don't.
Especially, you got to remember Indiana. You got to remember, like we said earlier, the teams have to pay. You have to pay a certain amount, or you're going to get penalized. You know what I mean? So
I got to look into that new rule.
CBA.
Yeah, I got to look into that.
Caldwell Pope to Orlando for $66 million, 3 year.
Great deal. It sucks for Denver to me because I think he's a decent role guy, but for Orlando, it's like. I'm happy to see Orlando making moves like this because I feel like the team they have right now, they're not really getting enough talk, if that makes sense. Like nobody's talking about Orlando for some reason.
I think if Paul George would have went there, and I think he was considered, that was like his third option, I believe. If he would have went there, I think people would be. But Orlando's not like a Miami market, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but it just kind of sucks because like Banchero gets no media coverage. The Magics were
first of all, you just said the nigga name wrong, and that could be a part of it. But you're right though. I mean, me and Chef fought about Randall and Banchero. So
I've never seen the number one pick be this good and not get talked about. To the minimum.
He gets talked about on the All Grind, so we go to bat for Banchero for sure.
continue that.
We just tore Shev up again when he came back, and we wanted him to double back on that energy he had in February.
Yeah, I forgot about. I ain't gonna lie, he got a couple things he needs to address on his show next time.
He all of a sudden now he's like he put some respect on Batgirl's name now. We had to force him, but he put a little bit of respect on it now.
But yeah, I think it's a good move for the Magics to get.
Here's the funny one. Tobias Harris back to Detroit, $52 million for 2 years. This was probably the only deal I seen that I was like, well, this was one of the 2 deals I seen where I was like, whoa, like that's wild.
Honestly, I don't think anybody else would go to Detroit, so that's probably why they threw him the money. But to me, it's just like
he's turned into like the Kirk Cousins of the NBA, bro. Like he just be getting big contracts just to vibe. Like
that's probably the best comparison I've heard, like NBA to NBA, NFL wise. He's big Kirk Cousins of the, because like he's a good player, but he ain't just like you go all out. You get,
and he's had like 3 different teams do it for him.
Yeah, it's
the Clippers paid this nigga. Philly paid this nigga, and now they just paid this nigga. If I'm not mistaken, Clippers was his first contract, but
to me, it's just like it's not important. I guess that's what I'm looking for. Like it's cool, I guess. Detroit trying. I mean, you can't get any worse than 1468. So I mean, if any team can give it to them, I guess it's them. But to me, it's just like okay.
People forget. Tobias was supposed to be the guy in Milwaukee before Giannis ended up blossoming.
He was supposed to be somewhat of that figure when they chose him over Jimmy Butler because they loved him that much. But
that was just idiocy.
That was just a bad move.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with that.
I thought he was decent, but I just never. I just never gave him the.
I ain't gonna lie. That's probably one of the most detrimental NBA moves we've probably seen.
What, keeping Tobias over Jimmy?
Because they were literally a hair away from beating the champs. You know what I mean? If they get past Toronto, they probably win that year, and we're not even. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wonder if it was like a locker room issue because Jimmy Butler before Miami, he definitely had those problems, but it really doesn't.
I mean, Embiid said he wanted them. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe Simmons. We know he a girl now, so maybe it was him that didn't want Butler.
That's true.
We got Lil Cuzzo, man, melting to Golden State for $13 million, 1 year deal. What's your thoughts?
I like it.
Yeah, I really do like the deal. Wow, D'Anthony Melton go bring home a championship.
We got the Melton and Steph backcourt.
If you're watching this, you know how bad JC loves you because he really, really wants you to go either get a ring, obviously, but more importantly, he just wants to see you succeed in the postseason and get there.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like he always is able to be, I guess, one of the glue guys on a playoff contending team. The only time he didn't get to experience that was his first year in Phoenix. And that's when they were just all discombobulated at that time. But since then, he's pretty much been a glue to always be a playoff guy on the team. But yeah, he got him a 1 year deal, obviously because of the injuries over the past couple of years with the back issues. So this is kind of like I guess you could say like a prove it year. You know what I mean? And it's wide open for him. You know what I'm saying? Like Clay's gone. I could argue that he can be like the second or third option on that team if he is able to turn it up. You know what I mean? If he's able to stay healthy this year and turn it up, he has the potential to be that second or third offensive option on this team. It's just on him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We got Jonas Valanciunas to Washington. $30 million for 3 years. What are these niggas doing right now?
I just don't think that,
because if I'm not mistaken, they signed Rashawn Holmes to a deal too, right? Like something in that ballpark.
I hadn't even heard that. I think the Pelicans were trying to get rid of Valanciunas. I don't really think they were interested in him. He probably just took the best offer, maybe. and that was.
But I'm saying, what is Washington doing?
It's Washington. They do this. They've been signing in real players for like the past since the John Wall era.
Yeah,
they should have been trying to go out and get some.
I remember when they kept doing that, like trying to find a wing for Bill and John Wall. They got an old Paul Pierce, and then they got a Reza, and then like they always kept like trying to flip that three, and it just never quite worked the way they thought it was.
Although Kelly Oubre was pretty decent in Washington, but other than that, it just always seemed like.
Yeah. Oubre. Speaking of, well, we talked about Oubre. They brought him back to Philly. Okay. So I said Tobias was the one of two contracts that I did not understand. Make it 3. So this is one of the 3 I didn't understand. Patrick Williams, $90 million for 5 years. Jay Will, I'm glad you're here because maybe you can give me more insight on this. Maybe you know something I don't. What's going on with this one right here?
I honestly, the only reason I would see them, and it's kind of conflicts with what I said earlier of re-signing him to even like a deal like that, is if you think DeRozan is going to go walk, because I think the Bulls and DeRozan had some type of contract negotiation issue to where it kind of looks like they may split. But them giving Patrick Williams that deal is like, all right, they're maybe trying to prepare for the future. But as a Bulls fan, I'm not giving Patrick Williams that money. I like him defensively, but other than that, he's not really that.
So you didn't see nothing on the court these last few years to where you're like, oh yeah, I could see them giving him that.
No, honestly, it looked like the complete opposite. It looked like at some points they were ready to just get done with him because he was having some like stink bombs with the minutes he had.
And I'm saying that because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really paid much attention to Chicago. So
honestly, at the beginning of the season,
I know he had some days or some flashes here and there.
But he was saying basically he wants to be paid this much amount or he's gonna walk. And Bulls fan, we're kind of thinking, okay, Patrick Williams gone. But instead it's just
wasn't he like the 4th pick or something like that for y'all? Or am I tripping?
Out of 4th pick. So it's just funny to me because if you would have told me in October or November that we would give Patrick Williams a 5-year, what you say, $90
million extension,
I would have just laughed at you because it was like, you know what I mean? Like it was one of those things where nobody expected it. Like it was so much.
Do you have any Bulls groups or anything that you're in where you're saying what people are saying about it? Like,
I mean, if we're being real, most of the Bull fan groups are just people who love MJ.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you know any other Bulls fans?
What about Derrick Rose?
I mean, all they talk about, like, I have like Bulls friends, like in real life, I guess. But like, if we're talking like on social media, besides if you know who Terry Green is, nobody else really.
Yeah, I know of Terry Green. I don't have a relationship with him though.
It's just really sad.
Tell him come F with us, man. If he be checking us out.
It's just really sad to see as a Bulls fan because Patrick Williams should not even be a Chicago Bull right now with the money he wanted. And somehow he
not only that, you gave him a long-term extension.
I know. And I hope it's not going to be another one of those situations where in a couple of years, we're just trying to deal him out to whoever takes him, like we're doing Zach LaVine right now.
But I think with some players, with some teams like the Chicago or Detroit or Washington, if nobody wants to go, you still have a certain amount of money you have to spend. So I think they have to do some overpays so they don't get in trouble. But it's just unfortunate when nobody wants to go to your team.
Exactly. It's just we're such a confusing team because I was surprised we even traded Caruso. But
yeah, I was surprised that what y'all traded him for. It was like y'all traded him for a player that is pretty much finna get colluded against to get out the league. So
yeah, I was gonna say, like I said, I just read like what Woj says about it, and it said like it was just looking on the point of like they were just trying to find somebody to replace Lonzo, and they brought up the possibility of Josh Giddey, running the offense through him, which to me is just kind of.
I thought was Josh Giddey couldn't legally get in trouble, which means the NBA couldn't do anything to put him in trouble. But I felt like Giddey's days were numbered. You know what I'm saying? That's why he ended up on the bench and out of rotation for some games. I felt like they know this nigga was on some bullshit. They finna get him up out of here. And I thought this was just like the start of it. They were just waiting for the team that was gonna take him on. But I don't know, the way you talking, it sounds like Chicago feels like, no, we finna, you feel me? Like, just let this nigga run the table.
That's what it looks like, which I'm kind of, it's just kind of, our future is just, I don't know what to expect. Like, I don't know what Chicago wants to do. If that makes sense.
JC, don't feel bad. Don't hit the panic button just yet for you.
What happened?
You see what Jay will be going through.
Oh,
at least you can make it to the play-in.
Look, man, I can't relate. Just like Flex was telling me to shut up earlier. It's like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, I can't relate to Cleveland, Chicago struggles, bro. Like, I've never been in this position before. So, I don't know.
And Jay Will, you talk about your team regardless of how bad they are. You talk about them with your chest.
I can't relate to dysfunctional front offices in basketball or football because Les Snead even be getting busy.
I'm not sticking out my chest for Patrick Williams. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that.
I'll be.
Emmanuel Quickly was the third contract that I didn't quite get. 175 for 5 years.
You know, I don't understand the money or the Raptors wanting to give him that money.
Yeah.
Especially when you just gave Scotty 204.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did.
I don't know. That's a concern.
I know Quickly balled at the end of the season when at the time when all the G leagues and people just trying to get jobs is in. So I don't know if they're going off of that, but
a 6th man of the year.
That is definitely an overpay. That is definitely over. That's like some, like if the Knicks would have gave Quickly that, they'd be a laughing stock right now. But because it's Toronto, nobody's batting an eye.
Like the only thing I think why Toronto wants him is based off potential, but even then, it's like Quickly's nice, but like how
175 nice, potential?
That's what I was saying. Like, how nice do you think he's really gonna be?
OG just got 200, and I think he's way better than Quickly and way more of a valuable player to a team than Quickly.
The OG situation with the contract, to me, from the Knicks, is understandable because keeping OG for me means that okay, when it comes to these little playoff runs in the postseason, OG can be one of those guys who kind of helps out. You know,
I'm cool. I'm cool with the OG contract. I'm saying he deserves it. What I'm saying is in comparison, Quickly got something that wasn't too far off from what OG just got. OG is who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Quickly, as good as he is, he's not that important.
And again, when I say this, because I know Ragu probably gonna get on me later. When I say this stuff about when I say these things regarding the contracts, I'm not saying this in a way to belittle my brothers that's getting their money. I'm happy for all of these brothers negotiating to get what they get. I'm just speaking from a basketball standpoint, and you talking salary cap space and stuff like that as far as building the team going forward. I'm just speaking to that. So I want to make that disclaimer. I'm not hating on nobody getting their money. I'm proud of every last one of these brothers that was able to get every dime out of them. And they honestly deserve more based on what these owners make off of them. But because we have this thing called a salary cap, you know what I'm saying? The fans have to pay a little closer attention to what they get because it can cap their team from elevating later on. So I just want to make that disclaimer before we end the show.
We always look at it from a business perspective, not a
exactly. But Ragu, he be on me about this, but he hates when I get to talking like that about players' money. But then again, I brought up the fact like, hold up, nigga, you didn't feel like that when we gave Mozgov and Luol Deng their contracts.
I don't know, but I feel like you kind of contradiction because I said the same thing with Dalvin Cook last season when y'all was saying that all the bummy offers he was getting. I was like, I wouldn't.
No, okay, you misunderstood. Well, I'm not gonna speak for Ragu, but you misunderstood me. You were saying it in a way of like, damn, they gave Cook that money, and now he's not even good. But now this should impact the running backs coming up getting paid. That's different than just straight up saying.
But to me, it was obvious that Cook was not going to be nearly as good. You know what I mean?
Why was that obvious?
It was obvious. I mean, for one, he was already an injury-prone running back, which just screams that he does not need to be paid that much money. But he was already kind of obviously losing his step as well. So to me, it was like Cook should not be getting. I forgot what the deal was that he wanted, but he shouldn't have been getting that money that he wanted. He was kind of overdoing it, in my opinion.
But that wasn't what you said at the time.
I'm pretty
What
sure
you said, what you said was, damn, this is gonna affect, or this should affect running backs going forth, getting that type of money when they're asking for bread. That's the territory I want to stay away from, because I'm like, hold up, we just seen Daniel Jones get 90. He was trash, and nobody cared. Everybody just went back into their corner and said, let's regroup.
I wouldn't say everybody that people didn't care about that, because that's probably like one of the most.
I'm talking about the front offices.
But that's what I'm saying.
They don't. Okay, this is what I'm saying. They don't. Daniel Jones gets 90 million, right? This is what I mean by they don't care. He gets 90 million. He's trash, correct?
Yeah.
Once he's trash, they don't say, damn, we got to be careful paying quarterbacks in the future now because we just gave him 90 and he sucked. You know what I mean? And it felt like you were going towards, we should start scaling back on paying, be careful on paying running backs because one didn't pan out the way that he was supposed to.
I don't think I was necessarily trying to say that, but from my perspective, it was like Dalvin Cook was kind of already knocking at least or heading out the door. In my opinion, at that time period, there's the only reason why I thought he shouldn't have got that money from a business perspective, as I say that again, is because, for one, why would I give a running back that amount of money when I know that he's not going to be in my rotation as a running back in general? Because the Jets signed him for, I want to say a 2-year, $13 million is what they said it on.
Something like that. Yeah.
And immediately, of course, he was going to be RB2, which I don't think anybody, was surprised at, but he didn't perform anything.
Well, that was arguable too, because Brees was coming off an ACL tear.
Yeah, I still would have. I mean, Brees showed great potential before that. I think people were still high on Brees.
They did, but you know how that is, especially for a running back when you have a major injury like that. We didn't know Brees was going to come back and ball like that.
Yeah, that's right, I guess.
But everything you just said right now, I don't disagree with anything you said. But that I'm just saying, now if you go back to that day, that wasn't where your energy was going, and maybe that's what you meant, but the way it came out.
We need to start doing on these podcasts is when somebody says something one week, next week somebody needs to find the clip to find exactly what we said.
I've done the Ask Dre. How many times I done that? Niggas try to say they didn't say something. Please.
You can play it on the air just so everybody can hear it. Just
This is exactly. I've done that plenty of times.
This is one of those situations.
I go in the chat. I'm about to add you to our chat. I go in the chat all the time. Like, you didn't say that? All right, bet. Give me like 2 days, nigga. I'm gonna find the clip. Yeah, and I'll really come back with receipts, nigga. Like, so say you didn't say that again, and then Isaiah be getting mad. Oh no, you leaving out context. Where's the rest of nigga? Hold on, you said you didn't say that though. Now you want context. But
Isaiah getting ready to flame you when he sees this.
I know. And shout out to my brother Isaiah. He said he wasn't feeling too well today. But
honestly, that needs to be like a segment that we. Like an actual their own little part of the show.
Yeah, our sound bites for sure.
Yeah.
But again, the way you described it right now, I 100% feel you. Even at the time, I would have felt you. I felt like you were going into a dangerous territory of damn man, we need to scale back on paying these running backs because look what just happened with Dalvin Cook, and that's why I'm I didn't agree with that.
Yeah, and this was also the time of when Jonathan Taylor was kind of looking a little.
Yeah, there was a lot of backs going through spit at the time too.
Honestly, that was a good conversation because at that time period, it was should we pay running backs this amount of money when we don't think they're going to last a long certain time period? Maybe that was two little separate debates because I want to talk about Dalvin Cook at that certain.
What we've kind of talked about more so than anything. Furthermore than that is we need to probably have a different system for running backs than we do for everybody else, which is ironic because now they're talking about a different system for quarterbacks right now, which is crazy. But anyway, we need something like that for running backs. They should not have the same standard of rules because when these running backs get in the league and they find out whoa, you're arguably the best player on the entire team. They run these niggas to the ground. And then by the time their contract is up, oh yeah, we don't want to pay you because you're all beat up. But you're the one who ran me into the ground like that in the first place to get those wins and contend.
And that's what I want to say. That's what happens to like a few certain players. Because like what you said, like they do, they draft a running back probably high, right? Let's say I got a Brees Hall, and I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but Brees Hall, he starts off great, like
Right.
really great. So what they do is they use him. They use him a lot, especially on a team that's not necessarily like contending or doing
Exactly.
crazy.
You got Zach Wilson as your quarterback.
And then when it's contract time, 3-4 years later, and of course, obviously, your running back's going to be banged up when he's getting like 25 carries a game and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden, they can't get the money that they want, although they've carried.
Because they like, oh, when this contract's over, you're gonna be 28, 29, which is essentially a dinosaur for running backs.
Which is why I don't blame the Falcons for not using Bijan Robinson as much, because that was a complaint during his rookie year, was that he wasn't getting the ball as much. But there was no real needs for him to be.
I feel like, well, what do you think about this? We've talked about this on the show as well. We feel like this is just a start. Remove the franchise tag for running backs.
I would even go further as to say limit or like shorten some of these rookie deals
For the running backs.
Yeah.
Or are you just saying period?
Honestly, it's a touchy subject because sometimes, like, after year 2, if you're a quarterback per se, like if after year 2, you're not necessarily certain on whether this guy's either going to be the future of the franchise.
Yeah, you need at least, I think, like year 3, you know if you got the
yeah.
guy or not. Year 3.
Yeah. I wish they would do that for running backs, but at the same time, I don't think they would cherry pick a position. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they'll ever just.
Well, I'm just suggesting something because I feel like you don't think that's unfair how the running backs they're like the biggest workhorse on offense, but then get the least end of the stick when it's time to get some money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but have to be one of those things like they have to protest for, because I can't just see the NFL being like, okay, out of all the positions, we're going to choose this position to.
But they're talking about doing it with quarterbacks right now, and they, you know what I'm saying? They're treated like princesses already.
If they're doing it to quarterback, then 100% yes. I hope they do it for running backs too, because there's no reason to do that with quarterbacks. But then, like what you said, when running backs carry such a heavy workload and they not getting paid nothing during that time period, like they're supposed to be getting paid, you just definitely do it for running backs. If you're going to do it for quarterbacks, it just wouldn't seem right.
Yeah.
But you have to realize it's the NFL. They do a lot of dumb stuff in general under Rodgers.
Got me there. All right, we just got 2 more, man. 2 more extensions. Claxton, $100 million for 4 years. To me, it's a great deal.
For who?
Which I think. I think I would say more so Brooklyn.
Really?
Like that's the only because I mean they.
But
I get it. People don't look at Claxton as like a true big, but he's been very serviceable for what they need. Been there through the thick and thin, all that shit. And I think as far as what he brings to the table, if anything, he got underpaid in some ways. I feel.
How old is Claxton? Let me look that up real quick. Because
I mean, he's not. I don't think he's too old. He's for sure.
Because the way I'm looking at it is like the Nets when they traded
good shot blocker, nice rebounder.
Yeah, like I feel like he could have probably got an extra couple dollars out of them. Really,
it depends because like right now when they traded Bridges, the Nets obviously like were in full rebuild mode. Like they're like they wipe the roster and just start over fresh. I just don't know if I would give somebody like Nicholas Claxton that, depending on how long this rebuild process.
But remember, you got to spend money. Remember that part too.
I got to read up on that deal.
How old is? Did you find out how old he is?
He's 25, 20 and 26.
Yeah, so he a young nigga. Yeah, I feel like he got underpaid, if anything, but it's a good deal for both teams.
To me, it's
Claxton is a little slept on. Like he's kind of like the.
I think so too. I think so too.
I just don't know if I would have given him that much money. Now, if it was because of the rules or whatever, then I can't be against it. But
you don't think the fact that, like you said, they are in full rebuild mode. He's probably going to be arguably, other than Cam Thomas, like the only real serviceable player on the team. He's not getting paid.
I just don't know if he's like a long term, like,
I don't know. Maybe he's just not big on Claxton, but I
think he's underrated. I just think for what the Nets are doing, I don't know if I'm like just all on board with giving him that money.
I mean, it would make less sense for a contender to give him this or more. But a team that's in rebuild mode, yeah, you're supposed to give out contracts like that for people who are going to be there for the rebuild. And he's only 25.
Yeah, I guess. I guess
He's not even going to be 30 when this contract is over, and that's not even including if he has an option.
Maybe I'm not the biggest Nicholas Claxton.
That gotta be it because I'm like, what?
I don't know. I'm just not.
I was expecting him to get more than that, especially when effing quickly getting 175.
Because I was talking to Austin about it the other day. The Nets fan. I don't know if you know Austin, like Berg, something like that.
White boy.
Yeah.
I don't think I F him.
I don't know how to pronounce
Why you say it like that?
He was telling me he wanted Nicholas Claxton gone for so long because there's just no point of him being on the team. And like from the top, I forgot what points he gave me, but like he was kind of making sense. I'm probably going to send it to you later on, but like,
okay, yeah, send it to me. I'm gonna add you to the chat too.
Yeah, but I don't know. You got to see.
And then last but not least, not really, I mean, I'm sure y'all already know, but Donovan Mitchell just this morning, 150, 3 years, 3-year extension. A lot of people, there were some talks about him potentially going somewhere else, but I think maybe the Knicks going to get Mikal probably shut that door because that was probably like his only real choice of like, okay, that's where I want to go.
Well, I know there were rumors that the Lakers wanted him, but
bro, I don't want to hear that. Bro, I'm about to end this podcast. I don't want to hear this, bro. I feel like there's every star is rumored to come.
But
to LA,
not even
bro.
every star, even any solid role players always rumored to go. That's why I did the quotation marks because you never really just know because people could just be,
Every time somebody's available, Lakers.
Like
I'm happy to Mitchell State.
Like Marv used to say about the Celtics. Anything that helps the Lakers get worse, I'm all for it. JC, honestly, seeing the panicking you is hilarious. I'm sorry.
Hope the Celtics make it to the finals, go 3-0, and then they just blow it next year.
That's what I was a little worried about. I'm not gonna lie. When we got smacked in Game 4, I was like,
series like that.
Hey, after what we saw last year,
man, that's
finals.
Once they win, once a team goes up 3-0, that's pretty much, in my opinion, that's the Game 7.
I think the only reason why they didn't really want to win Game 4 because they wanted to win in Boston because they weren't showing no evidence to be like, okay, they taking this game serious.
Yeah. And honestly,
like... Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, honestly, though, outside of I just had this discussion with a buddy of mine. Do you feel like, and this is about Minnesota just for a split second, do you feel like we were all talking about Rudy Gobert and every one of my friends were like, no, he's not, he's a fraud and he gets exposed in the postseason. But then one of my other friends had a point and said, well, I don't know if it was a point, but he said, oh, well, he's usually Defensive Player of the Year in the regular season. He's not, they don't give him that award for nothing. Honestly, bro,
I wouldn't say that.
I had a friend.
I seen him rob a couple niggas.
That's what I'm saying. He's robbing people, and I'm so sick. Like, him getting boxed out by Caruso, honestly, had to have been the funniest shit ever.
But I've heard the same, right? But like the argument I heard for is that they should push the awards back for some of these awards, like because there's no reason for a Defensive Player of the Year winner to play like this in the playoffs, and we have to look at him as the best defensive player of that year. Like, there's no reason like we should be giving a title to a guy like that.
I disagree with that. If it's regular season, it should be regular season. I just question if these niggas really be having these votes in before playoffs.
I think some of them are clearly biased towards certain players, but
of course. That's honestly, I feel like we need to fix that committee, bro. Some of these niggas that I seen have votes. I'm like, how the hell that happened? I should have a vote before that nigga.
There's for like people who with votes that have like explained why they chose this person, and it makes zero sense.
Right, exactly. And then there's some choices that they do to where it's like there's nothing you can say to even make that make sense.
Yeah, and I think there was one year that Brown won MVP, and there was like one vote against
Melo and the Knicks. I remember that.
Yeah, and of course the writer was from like Boston or something like that. And then like
wow, that part I didn't know.
Oh yeah, it was a Boston. Yeah, LeBron said on the podcast or whatever, but
that was the well, I mean, I'm taking that with a grain of salt then if it came from Brian, but that
I mean, he said he was going to talk about it once he retires.
I think that was the season when
which will be hopefully
he went on the 27 game streak, right?
Probably. What year was that? Was that 13 or 14?
That was
Oh
13.
damn, Kemba Walker retired. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Kemba
Well,
Walker retired.
Yeah.
some hours ago.
That's that's a tough one, man. Like
Definitely.
it seemed like Kemba. If I'm not mistaken, Kemba came in the league after Kyrie.
Yeah, bro. He spent most of his career in Charlotte too.
And
they
he's
weren't
pretty
really
much
doing
been
it.
unplayable for like the last 3-4 years.
He
Like
can't. I think
what? I don't think I've seen such a rapid, horrible drop off like that.
but see
Markel Fultz.
Nah, because he never really got that steam to
he
even
was
get
already
going to
like,
begin with.
yeah.
Kemba came out gunning. I remember when him and Brandon Knight was going back and forth about the
Do you
top
think-
guard at the time.
I'm not saying that I feel this way, but do you think it was just one of those situations that he was just on a really bad team, and that's what kind of made him shine?
Like effed up his
Yeah,
habits.
bro. Because he was in Charlotte. He was
Yeah.
in Charlotte, and Charlotte back then wasn't good like that.
That's definitely a thing. Sometimes a player can get drafted to a losing team and end up just losing, not have no real veteran, none of that shit, and end up really carrying loser habits. And then when you do finally get to a good team, it's hard to just snap out of that.
He got to Boston, it just did not work.
And vice versa. You got some players that go to a good environment and that helps them. Like, I'm sure Kemba made a couple dollars or whatever, and he had his time, he had his little moments. I remember I think he had a 60-point game, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's had some moments, but yeah, it's just, I ain't gonna lie, like his drop off was real bad and very rapid, and it just sucks that he went out the way he did.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kemba was a really good guard. He was a good guard for his time. And that's all I can say about that. Shout out Kemba, man. Hope you have much success on your next endeavors, big dog.
Come play in the NFL. No, I'm playing.
My last question. Or I'm gonna say my last question, free agency wise. What do y'all think is the best fit for DeRozan? What team?
Boston. No, I'm playing.
Or it doesn't matter. Should he just vibe to Chicago or retire? Like, I mean, what y'all think?
It just be because it really just seems like he just wanted money. He wanted to get paid.
Yeah.
Bulls don't want, I don't know what the contract, but whatever they disagreed on, it looks like DeRozan just cares about getting his money's worth. So, like, what would I like to see?
I mean, I feel him. He knows that whatever he signs right now is probably going to be his last little check to last, payday.
I don't know if he's on PG type where he kind of just wants to play somewhere, play his role, do what we know.
I think he on that type of time, and I think he's trying to, because people don't realize DeRozan has a lot of points. Like, I think he's trying to rise in the total points too on the low.
It's crazy because he's high, and you would have not thought out of all people doing.
Yeah, I remember when he was passing certain people, I was like, he got how many points?
Yeah, but DeRozan also he been around for a minute.
He's been a quiet 20 a game scorer for the past 15, 16 years.
Mm-hmm. I think even more than.
I'm saying that,
Yeah, I know what you know.
Yeah.
What would be the best fit? I don't want to say Lakers just because it's the Lakers.
Yeah, don't give them anything.
I could see that. I could see that potentially working. Like the Lakers. I take that back because I don't want him.
I was about to say
that would stun Austin Reeves.
I was about to say that, but if you would have pushed DeRozan into that lineup, do you move AD back to the 5 and then you put LeBron in the 4 and then DeRozan?
Well, apparently AD crying about being at the 5 and JJ talking about he wants to try to really get a big man. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. We're in a bad place, bro. That's all I'm saying. We're not in a good place at all.
This is so mean. I feel bad for you because I know you're not used to this.
I don't.
That says a lot when a Chicago fan feels bad for me. That says a lot about where we at.
This is hilarious to me, honestly. The seeing you stress, JC, I've never seen you stress over the Lakers like this. So this is, I almost want to take a screenshot because it may not last for too much longer. I kind of want to take a screenshot because it may not last long, and I need to make sure I see every stressful moment in your life on this day.
I got a crazy answer though. What about you think DeRozan on the Grizzlies would make sense?
Because and they got Zach Edey at center too.
I don't like that.
But I don't know if they can afford DeRozan though.
I don't like that anyway. I don't feel like he fits their system.
Would you?
You know what Memphis really need to do more than anything?
What?
Need to fire Taylor Jenkins. That's what I think they need to do. They get rid of that nigga, and I think they become better just that fast.
I don't know, man. I like Taylor Jenkins.
I don't. That nigga be playing like it's high school, bro. Need to play all 13 players on the damn team, and then be taking. You know what I'm saying? He don't never. I feel like he stunted some players' growth just as much as you see him win, but
yeah, I feel like low key Memphis is holding Marcus Smart hostage. I don't think
for real.
So
I feel like he could start on some of these other teams. You don't need to get Memphis, and you can get something decent out of him. You know what I mean? So,
y'all think KD gonna be in Phoenix come September?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we saying that because KD wants to stay in Phoenix, or because the Suns want to keep him?
You know what's funny? At some point in time, JC, there's going to be a rumor of him possibly talking to the Lakers. Watch.
There's that all the time anyway.
But you also have to realize, I don't think the Phoenix Suns they don't have a first round pick until 2031. They don't have a second round pick until 2031. And they have zero playoff. They finished end of the season with 0 playoff wins this year. So I mean, if you play KD for the future, it would make 100% sense because you have 0 picks in the next 6 years, which is crazy for a team that has not done really anything besides that one little finals run. So I mean, if I were the Suns, KD, I love you. I respect what you've done for my franchise, but you got to go because we got to get ready for the future.
Yeah, you know where I feel like KD would be perfect at, and I think I've said this on here before.
Where at?
Go back to OKC, where it all started. And I think that's one of the only ways he gets some of that stench off his legacy if he actually gets it done over there.
I don't think KD wants to go back to OKC.
I just think that would be a perfect fit.
It makes sense because I know the Thunders do not mind giving up some of those picks.
Who's going to be OKC point now that Giddey's gone?
I think they run Shea at the 1. No, Shea can. I don't think I'll put him at the 1.
I mean, Shea be bringing the ball up all the time anyway. They had Giddey, who's only really good when he got the ball in his hand. They had this nigga playing it too. Like,
yeah, but
then that's neither here nor there. If KD was to come, you could just put him at the 1. You right, and then just put Jalen at the 2.
Rumors of him to Houston. Once again, rumors of him going to Houston.
That's Woj reporting on that. So you can take that to the bank. That's the only nigga in the basketball world to where if he say it, that's the gospel.
And that makes even more sense because I don't know how solidified the Rockets are on keeping some of that young core that they have. So the Suns probably could get.
They need to get rid of some of them 10 guards they got.
They got a bunch.
But
shout out Dylan Brooks, even though he's not a.
Last question, just real quick because we've been on here for a minute. Y'all draft takeaways.
Like winners and losers?
Yeah.
As a Bulls fan, I'm happy. Because I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I think his name is like Mattis or his last name or first name, something like that. And I'm not going to try to pronounce it because some of these foreign guys' names are just like impossible. But like he was rejected like number 1 pick last year. And as a team who I feel like I hope one day, pray that we get rid of Vucevic, I feel like he could be the starting center or, forward. Because he can play the 4 and the 5. So I feel like this is a home run pick. I was hoping that either if Rob Dillingham fell to 12 or 11, which obviously he didn't, that I wanted to draft this guy. So I'm fine with this. I love this pick. I feel like it's the best pick we've made in recent times.
We had a clip of KO. Do you know KO?
That was funny as hell, bro.
We have a clip of KO flaming the number one pick this draft before the draft.
Because
I don't know if you saw it.
I see him like talk on Twitter about it because Caleb's like the biggest college basketball slash.
No, I said KO.
KO. That's what
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I probably. Yeah. He said he didn't like this pick, the first overall pick.
He flamed him up before they even took the pick. He said he wasn't even a top 30 prospect to him. What do you think about it?
I don't know because I'm not when it comes to
foreigners.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I gotta see in the NBA because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit down and watch a guy unless it's like Wemby because Wemby's a different story. But I'm not gonna sit and watch a European ball game just willingly. I ain't gonna lie, I was when he got drafted, so I'm not even.
Me too.
So that's why this draft class is so hard because I can't tell whether it's a bad draft class because there's not like a big names that we know of as Americans, or if this is a good one and we just not paying attention.
Remember, 13 was considered a bad draft, and we got Giannis out of that. So
yeah, it's I don't know. But I will say I do think Alex Sarr should have went 1. But
that's who he had as 1 too.
Yeah, Alex Sarr,
and that's who Washington drafted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why are they signing all these? What the hell is Washington doing, bro?
Just Washington. I think Washington just picked the best overall prospect, which I can't be that mad at. But at the same time, it wouldn't make sense to go and get Valanciunas.
And then the players that they just signed. When you sign a new contract, you can't trade until till December.
Mm-hmm. I think you gotta have them for like 6 months. I want to say.
Yeah, so that makes sense. December.
Yeah, but then again,
unless it's a sign and trade.
But like I said, Alex Sarr, I think was the number 1 overall pick. Even though Washington has a lot of bigs, I'm not against them going out and getting Sarr because, like I said, he's the best overall prospect. I think he has unicorn potential, meaning that he can be a very great, unique player that we've not really encountered before.
Why you think Atlanta passed on him?
It's Atlanta.
Because it's Atlanta.
and you wonder why Silver and them and Stern used to intervene on these picks.
Bro, I don't even know
because these niggas don't even know how to do it right.
They're supposed to have like number 12. They got number 1. But yeah, when the Bulls supposed to get a top 5 pick, we get 11. But it's all cool.
Y'all probably would have took Sarr, huh? But y'all front office ain't much more competent than them other 2 niggas. So.
Houston, I like the Reed Shepherd pick, even though I really wanted him in San Antonio with Wemby. I'm not that upset. Steven Castle, I like him. I don't have like potential on him, but I think he could be a really solid point guard, like stick around for a long time type deal. I just wish the Spurs didn't trade that pick for like future picks in the next draft, unless they think they're going to be bad again and get another high pick. Because I don't think Minnesota owns that pick that they have, but that they traded away.
Yeah.
But, not against it.
Yeah.
On that note.
Yeah, it wasn't much to talk about this shit.
That's just
all right, Dre. Wait till the regular season. I don't know what I'm gonna hang my hat on when we play y'all niggas. I don't care how bad we are. We're gonna beat y'all.
But I ain't gonna lie. Y'all's pick, the Dalton guy.
Yes.
You think so?
Bro, that's
the one that yanked on the nigga.
I like he can take over. Of course, it's different from college to the NBA, but I've seen moments where he just takes over games and just snap and go at people.
Wait, you know what is Jay Will though? You know what JC is going to tell you in response?
What?
I got it. I can't judge him. I can't say he's going to be good. I can't say he's going to be bad until I watch him in between the lines.
Yep. I don't judge no rookie, no prospect, no nothing. I wait until when you get in between them 4 lines, then I make my assessment.
You know what? I don't even hate you for that because when it comes to college ball, it's so different from the NBA. You can't just sit here and watch a highlight tape and be like, "Oh, that guy's going to be this good."
I've seen niggas average 25 and be the star of their team, all that spit, run through the tournament and all that, and get to the NBA and be straight mid. Have y'all heard from Shelvin Mack recently?
Not yet.
Y'all heard from Trey Burke recently?
Shabazz Napier.
Shabazz.
Old dude from Purdue a couple years ago who went
I'll just wait, bro. But appreciate y'all, man. I know this was a pretty long one. If
Okay. It was fun.
yeah, it was fun. But if
You
it
make
was
sure when you upload
if
it,
this
though,
went,
JC?
I don't know how much time it went, but if it went over 4 hours, I might make it into a part 2. We'll see.
Okay. Also, JC, real quick, just I just want to get one more glance of what stressfulness looks on you for a minute, just because I may not see this lever
Yeah,
again.
so appreciate y'all coming out. Jay Will, thank you, my brother. It's been a long time. Hopefully we can get you back soon, man. I know you've been a busy man. Dre, appreciate you coming out last minute. Isaiah, get well, my brother. Hopefully I see y'all next Tuesday, man. And if some type of major update or something like that. This is the second most fun time of the year after playoffs, is the season after the season right here. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
and then we got, y'all know, as a podcast, we got the NFL predictions coming up. Y'all can get ready for those. So
Oh yeah.
got a lot in store, man, coming up for the offseason, man. Don't go nowhere. Don't touch that dial.
Also, Isaiah, please, I'm waiting to talk about Florida football this year. It's almost time. I'm waiting.
Yeah, Isaiah be back soon.
And the
man.
game's about to be out too in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
July 19th.
He'll definitely be back. So yeah, exactly. And then we got to do Madden ratings. We got, what I'm saying? We probably, I don't know, maybe we'll even do a stream, man. One of us running each other on college or something. I don't know. We'll see, man. But yeah, make sure y'all go check us out on all major directories: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, YouTube. Just type in All Grind Sports Show, whatever your form of watching podcasts or listening to podcasts is. Just type us in, man, and we'll be right there for you. Go Lakers, go Rams,
Go Celtics,
go Dodgers, go Sparks. Peace. See y'all later.